seventh lord in different nakshatras, and as per that what are the like characteristics, like the kind of a spouse you can expect. Okay, so in this video we're gonna talk about that. Now guys, I would like to tell you before you move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation. Okay guys, so for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also. If you are a male, you can watch this video for your wife. If you are a female, you can watch this video for your husband. So guys, in this, your seventh lord is placed in which nakshatra, as per that what kind of a spouse you can expect, we will discuss that in this video. So now let's get started. So when seventh lord is placed in Ashwini nakshatra, then what will happen? When seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ashwini, so see, first of all, Ashwini nakshatra is ruled by the planet Ketu. Okay, Ashwini nakshatra means a person who is spontaneous and blessed with the ability to initiate and expand their work, as they are fast and agile. So like a kind of a spouse you will get is like a is a spontaneous person and who has the ability to initiate and expand their work as fast as they can. Okay, so as your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ashwini, so it show that your spouse will be a light-hearted kind of a person by nature. Okay, your spouse will be intelligent, a reliable and a self-sufficient person. Now guys, it also show that your spouse will have a playful and a childlike nature. Okay, it also show that your spouse will be like a fearless person. Okay, very like a fearless person. Like if let's say you want to go somewhere, or like she wants to or he wants to go somewhere, then like your spouse will be like a fearless. Okay, let's do it, let's just do it. So that kind of a nature can be seen. So a fearless person who wants to explore new places, like it may also possible that they would love to travel to foreign land, explore different places, new countries, meeting new people. That kind of a nature can also be seen with Ashwini nakshatra when seventh lord is placed in Ashwini nakshatra. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Maybe they like, to joke, laugh, and like pushing, like joking and laughing nature can also be seen. Like they like all these kind of thing, that can also be possible. It may also possible that your spouse have like a power due to which they can heal people, because obviously Ashwini nakshatra have like the because your seventh lord is placed in Ashwini nakshatra, it may possible that your spouse will have some kind of healing tendencies. Like they may be they may have some kind of a nature, by maybe they can heal other by their words. Maybe they are kind of a healer kind of a person. That nature can also be seen. Or you may see that some people have something in their hand, like kind of healing nature can be seen. Your spouse can be a adventurous person. She or he will be a adventurous spirit, like very adventurous by nature. They may love adventurous sports like river rafting, skydiving, bungee jumping, or any kind of like what you call like these mountain biking, or any kind of like adventure kind of a sports lover person can also be seen by this nakshatra. Maybe a little bit stubborn nature can be seen of your spouse because of this nakshatra. Definitely your spouse will have love for traveling when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ashwini. If we talk about little bit like a look, your spouse will have a magnetic look. Okay, look wise they are very magnetic. Like when people see them, they're like, oh my god, this person is like a good in looks. It may also possible that as your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ashwini, that your spouse, because seventh lord is in Ashwini Nakshatra, your spouse may be fond of music, like they may be a music lover, or they may play some music instrument. They may love to play any music instrument like guitar or anything like that, or maybe they love to sing song, like a music lover kind of a person can be seen. Or and also like a fine art, music, like this kind of a person can be seen. uh, Also they are a very sincere person, your spouse, and also they may have love for the family, like a loving nature for the family can be seen. Although because seventh lord is placed in Ashwini Nakshatra, so due to which your spouse will have leadership skill. Okay, leadership kind of a personality can be seen. If we talk about career wise, then your spouse can be psychologist, therapist, healer, can be in defense like police, military, sales kind of a person, horse trainer, jockey, all these kind of a thing can be seen. So overall you will get a nice, adventurous, free spirit, and a, good looking and a nice person who would love to just travel to different places. That kind of a like a adventurous spirited person can be seen. Okay, now let's talk about Bharani Nakshatra. What happened when your seventh lord is placed in the Nakshatra of Bharani? When your seventh lord is placed in the Nakshatra of Bharani, so it shows that your spouse could be very independent minded person, a freedom loving person. First of all, Bharani Nakshatra is ruled by planet Venus, so you can expect like the Venus kind of qualities will be present in your spouse. Okay, so very independent and a very loving kind of a person can be seen. Because seventh lord in Bharani Nakshatra and is ruled by Venus, your spouse will be a very creative person. Obviously, because Venus energy is prominent, maybe have interest in dancing, music, musical instrument playing, arts, creativity. Very creative kind of a person can be seen. Also, your spouse will be independent minded person, right, and also freedom loving person. Because of this nakshatra influence, your spouse will love freedom. Okay, freedom is important for them. When seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani, so it will make your spouse a responsible person. Okay, it's not like that they are independent freedom loving person, so they are irresponsible. No, 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 they are very responsible kind of a person, because of seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani. Okay, and a very now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Honest and a loyal person can be expected when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani, and who bear responsibility. Okay, it may also possible that in their life there are some kind of a circumstances due to which from their early stages of life they have to bear a lot of responsibility. That's why they are very responsible person. It can also possible. Also, it is seen that when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani, so your spouse can perform well under pressure. Okay, let's say for an example, there are some people that say that I can't speak better, I do not I cannot give good speeches. But if you put them in certain situation where they have to just give a speech, then they will give such a fantastic speech that like the people sitting in the audience literally get mesmerized by their speech. They're like, oh my god, this person is so good in speaking skills, like his speaking skills are fantastic. So that kind of a thing can be seen. Okay, so they perform good under pressure. Although they are a bit materialistic person, like the materialistic pleasure, etc., all these kind of luxury, car, money, etc., all these things are important for them, and that can obviously be expected because lord of this nakshatra is Venus. They will be a luxury person, luxury loving person. Luxury is quite important for them. By nature they are a very loving kind of a person can be seen, obviously because Venus influence is there, so spouse will be a loving person. There are although some hidden and mysterious energy or like a hidden aspect can be there in your spouse. Well, you will know them as soon as your life goes on. Also there will be some transformation in the life of your spouse that will improve their personality. So this transformation will give them little bit of pain for certain period of time, but after that they will transform into a better human being. So these transformation are for their betterment. So you will get a spouse who will be beautiful and attractive because of this nakshatra of Bharani. If your 7th lord is placed in the Bharani nakshatra, your spouse will be beautiful and attractive. Spouse will be a fashionable person. They love latest fashion trends, style. Like let's say there are some latest fashion clothes they would like to purchase and wear them. Like everything, like a fashionable clothes, fashionable hats, or like jewelry or any kind of stuff. They are fashion lover kind of a person. That's really fantastic thing. I really love that. Uh, Beautiful eyes, and and a very attractive smile can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. When your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani, so very beautiful eyes and a very attractive smile your spouse will have. That can also seen. Your spouse would love to wear jewelry. It can also possible. Like there are high probability that your spouse love to wear jewelry because of this nakshatra influence on your 7th lord. Your 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra. Your spouse will be a pure hearted person. That can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Very pure hearted kind of a person. uh, you know, it may possible that they may have some past life experiences, like which may help them to overcome like the problem, etc. In the later part of their life they will have good learnings from their past life experiences, or I can say like the earlier part of life they have some experiences which help them to get their life better in the later part. One thing I would like to tell you, that you cannot dominate your spouse. Okay, you can guide them, but don't try to dominate them. It is like a remedy for you that I am giving. If your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Bharani, so you have to keep that in your mind, that you must not dominate your spouse. Your spouse is a kind of a person you cannot dominate him, right? Her or him. Are you getting my point? So it's like a remedy that I would like to give you, because you can tell them that, hey, I would like to just talk to you, that can you these things are there, can you please try to do that, something like that. They will feel okay, I will do that. But if you just try to dominate them, like, hey, you have to do this, then definitely there will be problems. You have to avoid that, or they may not do that if you just try to say them like that. Okay. um Also, so it's like a remedy for you. Also, a creative potential can be experienced here, because like this nakshatra have Venus influence, so obviously your spouse will have a very creative kind of a thing. And also he or she will have a high sexual drives, high sexual desires can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse will be a very sexual person. That's really good. You can enjoy lots of pleasure. They may be inclined towards yoga and meditation. It may also possible that they have interest in yoga, meditation. That's really good for like their body, obviously. uh, Also, your spouse will be truthful, and self-sacrifice can also be present in them. Okay, so it's like a good qualities. So your spouse can be confident and a famous also. It may also possible that your spouse will be a, like let's say some video creator who will, like an Instagram celebrity or YouTube celebrity. It can also be possible because of this nakshatra. Your spouse will have a good health. Your spouse will be a vibrant person and help their friends and family. It may also possible like their spouse would like to help your friend, family and friends to in their problem or anything like that. They are fond of family. Actually, they are a family loving kind of a person. Spouse can be publisher, writer, film industry, music industry, or like love to do film, etc. related work. Also they can be in occult, like they can be a tarot card reader, astrologer, or they may have interest in these field, palm reading, or numerology, or any kind of these things. Also there may be a psychic kind of a person. That can also be possible, like psychologist can also be possible. Also it may possible that they may be entrepreneur, like having some of their own work or like business. Also like a lawyer, financial consultant, etc. can also be seen. Okay, so this is all about this nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Kritika. So what will happen when 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika? Kritika nakshatra is ruled by planet Sun. Okay, first of all, So your spouse can be a very intelligent and a sharp intellect person. Like they will have a very sharp intellect and very intelligent kind of a person can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika. They will be a straightforward person. Like they would like to talk like the straightforward kind of a thing. They do not have this way of like talking round and round things. Like no, they, if they want to say something, they would like to say something on your face straightforward. Okay, so get ready for that, because obviously sun kind of a leadership and authority is there in their nature. They are a very confident person. Okay, and also very courageous. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika, which is obviously ruled by the planet sun, then your spouse will be confident and a courageous person. Okay, he or she will be full of energy, right? And also along with the confident and courage, they are also very creative person. Creativity can also be seen in them. Okay, now creativity can be anything. Like creativity can be as simple as, like for an example, you are just creating something, then they may use like 10 different thing on the same product and just create something beautiful new. When people see that, they will like, wow. So that can also be a creativity. And creativity can be like, they may be love for music, video creation, or any kind of artistic field. That can also be a creativity. Okay, they can be religious and a bit spiritual minded person. It may also possible. It may also possible that your spouse wants to improve other people bad thing, etc. Okay, or like a guide them to improve them in their life. For an example, let's say someone have some addiction for drinking alcohol, etc., or smoking, etc. Then it may possible that they would like to just, let's say, start an organization, non-governmental organization or non-profit organization, which whose goal is just to help these kind of people so that they can just. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Overcome these addictions and they can live a very good life. So that kind of a person can also be seen. Although because of obviously sun authoritativeness or like a heat kind of a thing, it may also possible that little bit sometimes they can be angry also. So you have to deal him or like deal his or her like with a intelligence. Although your spouse can be good in cooking, especially if she's a female, then it's like a you can get a, especially when you're watching this your wife, so you will, maybe your spouse could be, your wife will be good in cooking. Also a foodie person can be seen. Okay, whether it your husband or wife you are watching, like your spouse will be a foodie person. They may have love for food. That can also be seen. Also, because of this nakshatra of Kritika, when seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika, it shows that your spouse will have good metabolism and vitality. Okay, also this nakshatra make your spouse a very attractive person. A very attractive kind of a personality can be seen. So when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika, it shows that your spouse will have a very attractive personality. They have actually such a good personality that people can praise them like, oh, nice person and all these, you are like handsome or beautiful. That can also be seen. Like it may possible that your spouse may look a little bit serious from outside, but from inside they are very soft hearted person. Like for an example, you see like some people, they are like so serious from outside as if something like going on in their life really bad, but from inside they are very pure hearted, very kind hearted kind of a person. Okay, so that can also be possible. What I want to say you that from inside they are very kind hearted and a very soft hearted person can be expected. They are very helpful person and they wants to help other to improve their life. Okay, very helping kind of a nature can be seen. Now one thing that is really good about this nakshatra, that let's say your spouse will promise you something. So if they promise you something, so they will do whatever they can do to keep that promise. Okay, that's really good. And also a nurturing and a parenting quality can be seen in your spouse. Okay, that's really good thing. So you will get a spouse by this nakshatra who will be like a proud, honorable, and a very ambitious person. It may also possible like your spouse will be highly ambitious. Also, a skillful and a wealthy person can be seen. Like your spouse will have a good skills in something, and also he or she can be wealthy also. But like a little bit of waving mind can be seen. Sometimes like they have like a fluctuations in their mind that can be seen. If we talk about career, then it is possible that a spouse can be in teacher, like a teacher, advisor, musician, can be in modeling, fashion designer, can be in armed forces like military, police, etc. Can be in building construction. So all these kind of a thing. One advice for you if your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Kritika, and that is that in some in some things you disagree with your spouse, let's say, because obviously in your married life definitely you will have something with in which you are like disagree with your spouse. Then do not say that thing to him or like her directly. Okay, do not say bluntly that hey, I don't like this. No, 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 please don't do that. Instead of that, just wait for like a right time, like maybe a couple of days or maybe next day, and then when he or she will be in happy mood, then just simply calmly say them that hey honey, I would like to tell you something that yesterday these are the things I do not like that, so can you please change that. If you say that sweetly, he or she will definitely agree to you. But if you say that on that particular moment and bluntly and directly, then they will not agree to you, and it's really bad for your married life. Okay, so because of their authoritative son kind of a nature, it is advisable when your seventh lord is placed in the Kritika nakshatra, you should keep that in your mind that if you have something like that, some things on which you are disagree with your spouse, then say those things when you are like when your spouse will be in happy mood, so that they can admit that. Okay, now let's move on to our next. When seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Rohini, first of all, Rohini is the nakshatra ruled by planet Moon. Okay, so when seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Rohini, so you will get a spouse who will be brilliant, attractive, like a very beautiful kind of a spouse can be expected when your seventh lord is placed in the Rohini nakshatra. Your spouse will have a magnetic eyes that can also be seen. Your spouse will have a charismatic personality because of Rohini nakshatra influence. Um, it may also possible that they have some political power, or they may know someone who are influential people, and wealthy person can also be seen, wealthy spouse when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Rohini. And it may also possible that your spouse will be some famous person, like again like a Instagram influencer, social media influencer, YouTube video creator, or up to the like any star kind of individual, like film industry star. The little bit famous person can also be expected. Because of seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Rohini, your spouse can be romantic and artistic by nature. Also, because of seventh lord in the Rohini nakshatra, your spouse will be sensual by nature. Like as sensual person can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. See, because of Rohini nakshatra, obviously it is ruled by planet Moon. I already told you, so it shows that spouse would have like a emotional, very nurturing and a caring kind of a spouse. Like they will love you, they will care you, they will cook for you, and they may have like a motherly kind of. Especially if you are watching for your wife, then you will get a wife who have a, like a mother child kind of attitude, like the kind of treatment you get from your mother. Like mother treat a child very well, love her, care her, nurture her, cook for her. In the same way, your spouse will love you, care you, your wife will be like cook for you, and all these kind of a thing can be seen. So your spouse, you will get a spouse because of this nakshatra who like this Rohini nakshatra, who have mother like a nurturing, caring for you. Your spouse, you definitely get beautiful spouse, like the beauty is highly associated with this nakshatra. It may also possible that your spouse love traveling, like traveling is important for them, they love to travel to different places. That can also possible. Maybe your spouse can be good in communication. It may also possible. It may also possible that your spouse will face some ups and downs in their life, but they will be successful finally. Okay, Also, your spouse can have a unique charm on their face, like a very charming kind of personality can be expected because of seventh lord's place in the Rohini Nakshatra. Uh, your for your spouse, wealth and security etc is quite important for your spouse. Is like an important factor when your seventh lord is placed in the Rohini Nakshatra. You will get all these kind of qualities like beautiful, charming, gorgeous, motherly, caring, nurturing. But along with that, like they always have this in mind that like security and wealth is quite important for them. Your spouse will be definitely be materialistic also because of this nakshatra influence. Also, you will get a spouse because of Rohini Nakshatra who is like a family oriented kind of a person. Okay, like a very family oriented kind of a spouse you will get. Spouse will be spiritual also and also have believe in God because of Rohini Nakshatra. Like they may have some spiritual practices that they love to do, or like chanting mantra or anything like that. They may have believe in God mainly. Okay, and also because of moon influence, your spouse will be creative also. Okay, like they may love dancing, singing, arts, music, all these. Now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. This kind of creativity can be seen, or like playing any music instrument, singing song etc can also be seen. Also, your spouse will have a very expressive eyes. Okay, that can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence. One thing I'm saying again, that your spouse will look extremely beautiful because of this nakshatra of Rohini. It show like a very beautiful, extremely beautiful spouse. Also, your spouse will have amazing dressing style. Like the dressing style of your spouse will be fantastic. Your spouse will have a sweet speech. They will have like it may also possible that they may be a bit popular also because the person, can you imagine the person who is having such a great quality? They are creative, they are beautiful, they are charming, they are gorgeous, they are caring, they are such a nice person. And definitely that kind of person are mainly popular. Okay, obviously people will like them a lot. Your spouse is liked by a lot of people. Also, they have a very good down to earth kind of a nature that can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Maybe your children is important for your spouse. Like a children are quite important for your spouse. It may also possible that spouse would love to spend money on different things, and it may also possible that your spouse will follow their heart. Like for an example, some people are there who just listen to their parents or someone, but there are some people like me who just follow their heart, who do whatever they want to do, who take their own decision of life. Like for people like me, I would love to follow my heart. People like me love to do whatever like they go where they want to go. Like I go where I want to go. I believe that I have to, like, people have to choose the career whatever they want to. People have to marry the person they want to. That kind of nature can be seen. Maybe a bit stubborn sometime. That may also possible that sometime they will be stubborn, so that can also be seen. Also, your spouse will be possessive about you. It may also possible. um, One more thing I would like to tell you, that it may also possible because of Rohini Nakshatra and Moon influence that your spouse may love diamond. Like a diamond loving person can be seen because of this. It doesn't matter that if you are watching this for your husband or wife, both, for both, like spouses both. So it's like your spouse will definitely love diamond. There are high chances of that when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Rohini. Also, for them, eating food in good restaurant or maybe luxurious restaurant is quite important. They may love to eat food in good restaurant. Okay, spouse can be in career like a politician, artist, actor, singer, dancer, or any artistic kind of a profession. Can be in some authoritative position, agriculture, real estate, hotel business, fashion model, etc. can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. So guys, this is all about Rohini Nakshatra. Now let's talk about Mrigashira Nakshatra. What will happen when your seventh lord is placed in the Nakshatra of Mrigashira? See, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mrigashira, first of all, Mrigashira is ruled by the planet Mars. Okay, so there's you can expect Martian energy can be there. Um, so your spouse will be energetic, active, and a very courageous person can be seen. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mrigashira, definitely a very courageous kind of a spouse can be expected. They are highly courageous to achieve whatever they are going. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Goal is they have the tremendous courage to achieve that. Okay. It has some moon energy also. Okay, although it is ruled by the planet Mars, but because of other things it have moon energy also, due to which it show that your spouse will be a little bit emotional and sensitive person can also be seen. Okay, he or she will have attachment with their mother. It may also possible that like your spouse mother is quite important for them. Also very like caring kind of a quality, nurturing kind of a quality can be present in your spouse. Your spouse can be a very imaginative person, like they have like you see some people they just imagine about low different kind of a thing, that can also be possible. Now if they are working in some creative field where they have like imagination, let's say for example they are a writer, then it's really fantastic imagination. But if they are like a not in some creative field where imagination is not required, then it can be a little bit problem for them. Okay, your spouse can be in research, in investigative nature can also be possible. Like your spouse can have a research or like investigative investigation kind of a nature. Some people they always try to find out like let's say someone meet you and you see that that person always has something in mind. They just try to find your family information, all about your information. That kind of a like interrogative or I can say investigative kind of a nature can also be seen in your spouse because of this nakshatra influence. Also a very speedy like a kind of a person who always like to do all the things very fast, that kind of a nature can be seen. Although your spouse will be intelligent and quick in understanding things, that is really a good thing. Like they have such a great intelligence that they can understand things quickly. Like some people you see that they, for them just saying things one or two times, it's like quite like enough so that they can understand it like in a brilliant way. And for some people it's like you can even tell them 1,000 times, they're still not able to understand. But for your spouse, they are intelligent, they can understand things quickly. That's really a good thing. Also like the financial stability and security is important for them, that can also be possible. Maybe your spouse likes to eat food in luxurious restaurant. Like some people have the rich taste, they would only like to eat food in luxurious restaurant, not in a normal one. So that kind of a person can be seen, although your spouse would be a foodie person. Okay, and also one thing that your spouse will have a beautiful speech. Okay, speech is really beautiful, your spouse. uh, their way of talking, some people have such a nice way of talking. When you listen their words, like how they say words, just feel like, oh my god, I wish I can listen this person for like thousands of years. So that kind of a way of talking can be seen, like my beautiful voice, my beautiful attractive kind of speech, guys. So guys, and now here's an interesting thing. Your spouse will give amazing financial advice to others. Okay. So they have good, like, naturally they have some talent that they can give good financial advice to other because of this nakshatra influence. But they themselves do not know how to implement that same advice in their own life. That is the funny thing. Like for an example, your spouse is giving someone like, hey, you should invest your money there, you should do this, you should do that, and that person if do that, then they will do good, they will do well. But they themselves don't know that how to implement the same thing in their life. That's really a funny thing about this nakshatra. Okay, now like your spouse is a very happy kind of a person who like happiness and enjoyment, that can also be seen. Your spouse may have interest in business or like a businessman kind of, or like a businesswoman can also be seen by this nakshatra. Maybe it may also possible that your spouse love to travel. Traveling related thing can also be seen because of this nakshatra. Your spouse will be a very joyful kind of a person. Very joyful nature can also be seen. Although one bad thing is that, like little bit negative thing, not bad actually, is that your spouse may have sometimes self doubt. They may think, oh, am I doing this right? Should I have to do this or not? So that kind of a confusing nature can also be seen sometimes. uh, it may also possible that like your spouse will be actually very attractive and seductive by nature. Like the seductive nature can also be seen in your spouse. uh, Also your spouse will always try to find the truth, and like very enthusiastic kind of a person can be seen. So if you have like some hidden things or like hidden affair in case and your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra, then always beware that your spouse can be just spying on you, so just take care. So a very talkative and like a good speech kind of a person can be seen, and they have very active mind. This is also possible because obviously the person who has such a investigated or like investigation always going on in their mind, truth finding kind of a nature, definitely their mind will be active. Okay, so you will have that kind of a spouse. So a very daring personality who would love to travel, that kind of a spouse you can expect because of this nakshatra of Mrigashira. Maybe the profession of your spouse can be like writer, poet, astrologer, maybe some researcher, maybe teacher, maybe engineer, maybe working in real estate, maybe in sales, maybe in travel business. Okay, it may also possible that a spouse may have lean body structure and a very innocent eyes. Okay, so overall this is all about when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mrigashira. Now let's talk about nakshatra of Ardra. So guys, now see what will happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ardra. So what will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Ardra? First of all, guys, Ardra nakshatra is ruled by planet Rahu. Right? It is ruled by Rahu Dev. So what will gonna happen? Uh, it's ruled by planet Rahu, so your spouse can be intelligent and a very extremely intelligent, because Rahu is like a very extreme intelligent kind of a person. If when Rahu influences someone in a positive way, it makes you a very intelligent and a clever kind of a human being. Okay, so when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Adra, which is ruled by Rahu, so it can show that your spouse can be extremely intelligent and a brilliant mind, in fact. Right, a brilliant minded person can be seen. Your spouse can have very nice writing as well as communication skills. Okay, that can also be seen. Your spouse can have crafty speech. Sometime a little bit fickle nature can also be seen due to Rahu's influence. When your seventh lord is placed in the Adra nakshatra. Also in Ardra nakshatra, due to this nakshatra influence, your spouse can be an athletic person also, like the athletic body can be seen of your spouse. Also like your spouse can be a bit materialistic person also, and that can also be possible. And also they may have like obsession about certain things in their life. Okay, also it make your spouse a very business minded kind of a person. Okay, if your seventh lord is in Ardra nakshatra, spouse can be a business minded person, that can also be possible. And also very diplomatic by nature, like a nice diplomat can be seen, right? Because obviously Rahu's influence is there, so very diplomatic kind of a human being can be seen. And maybe it may be possible that your spouse will have dual nature, like certain time they are saying like hey, let's go to restaurant today, and then after 10 minutes they're like, oh, just wait, I think it's not a good idea to go to the restaurant, and then again like let's go to. So dual kind of a nature can be seen, like their mind always have that kind of a thing can also be seen. It may also possible that your spouse love to traveling, like they have this love for travel because of this nakshatra influence. Also it may also possible that your spouse have some influence of foreign, like the foreign influence in their personality can be seen. Like let's say they may do some like hairstyle like foreigners, hair color like foreigners, or like love foreign brands, or maybe like a foreign influence can. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Can be seen, because obviously Rahu is a planet. When we think about, like, first we see like the foreign related things. So we see Rahu, because Rahu is a planet which connect a person to foreigners. And even in Rahu Mahadasha, people get like lot of, like, in their mind, like, I want to go to the foreign land, etc. So it's like that kind of a thing can be seen because of this nakshatra, that your spouse can have some foreign element. Maybe your spouse can be interested in foreign language. It may also possible, like he or she would love to just learn like foreign language, any foreign language, like they love to learn French, German, Russian, or maybe Spanish, or any kind of language, okay, or like the foreign language kind of a thing. Or maybe your spouse can be from foreign land, okay, but obviously for that full horoscope analysis is required. It may also possible that your spouse can be a foreigner because of this nakshatra influence. Now if your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Ardra, then it may also possible that your spouse can have some problem inside, like let's say inside they have some problem and they are just thinking about that, but they are so like a kind of a person that you cannot notice that on their face. Like let's say they are heartbroken from inside, but from their face you cannot see them that they are heartbroken. That kind of a thing can be seen in your spouse. Also something is always going on in their life, maybe it may also possible because of this nakshatra influence that your spouse may suffer a lot in their life, or suffer a lot, but ultimately they will also get good success in your life after all the suffering, okay. It is also sure. It's like your spouse become a diamond after facing lots of problem. Like for example, you just they face lots of things, so they just like shine like a diamond, like because of all these problems they will finally transform, and that's what I would like to say. So like ultimately transformation make them a better human being, okay. Maybe your spouse can have good stamina, and also your spouse can be involved in some business, or like some business kind of a person can also be seen, a businessman or a businesswoman, because of this nakshatra influence. Maybe your spouse can have a large face and a very intense eyes. It may also possible because of this nakshatra influence. Maybe your spouse can also have intuitive capabilities, right? They can see like people, very, the actually because of this nakshatra influence, they can just what I can say, dive into other people's mind, or like I can say they can deeply see the secrets of other people. That can also possible because they have some intuition also, right? Spouse may have some dry hairs. It may also possible that your spouse can have dry hairs because of this nakshatra influence. Maybe little bit angry sometime. Maybe it may possible that your spouse get little bit irritated or angry sometime, but it's okay, that's natural. Like mood swings can be experienced. Your spouse can have mood swings because of this nakshatra. Technical, your spouse can be in some technical field like computer gaming, technology, maybe in sales, maybe in public relation like the PR, or maybe in politics, maybe athlete, or like some kind of teacher also, or like a internet gadget related work can also be seen. Your spouse can be in these things also. It may also possible that your spouse think about his or her past a lot sometime. Like let's say they are just sitting and they are thinking and spending lots of time just thinking about their past, uselessly. So you just try to help them to overcome that, or like that's like a problem in them. Now, I would like to suggest you one thing, that meditation for your spouse is really good. So, if your seventh lord is in Ardha Nakshatra, then just tell your spouse that, like, doing a little bit of meditation every single day and then increasing the timing, it's really good for them. Okay. Now, let's talk about our next nakshatra. This is all about Adra. Next nakshatra is Punarvasu, right? What will happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu? Guys, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu, then first of all it is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So it is really a good, nakshatra, because it's like the blessing of the god. So your spouse is like a blessing of the god for you, because Jupiter is the blessing of god. So it is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu, it shows that your spouse will gain success after failure 100%. Okay, what I'm saying, 100%. Your spouse will fail in something. Let's say they start a business, they fail in that business. Okay, and then they will gain success in that business again. Like, let's say first they fail, then they again start the same business, or like again just think like, oh, okay, let's start this in this new way, and then they will gain success 100%, because Punarvasu nakshatra show success, good success, huge success, but after one failures. Okay, so this is like a kind of a thing that your spouse will fail in something and then gain a very good success. Okay, so it's like a kind of a thing that will definitely be there. Your spouse feel like, my god, everything is bad, and then they gain success. Okay, it may happen in their life that they go through like bad, like failure, then they think, oh my god, what the hell is going on in my life, everything is bad, I'm not able to achieve this or that, and then finally they start that again, and then they finally become successful. Okay, see, it is a fantastic nakshatra. It is one of the best nakshatra, because this is the nakshatra of Lord Rama. And if you see the life of Lord Ram, then you can obviously understand that he have to face, obviously he was Lord Ram, then he faced all these kind of things, so you can connect to that. So it is a nakshatra of Lord Rama. That's why it's really fantastic to have it. So obviously so much positivity, so much blessings can be with this nakshatra. See, they have to face failure, because so they have to learn something in their life. So that's why they have to first face failure, then they will gain success after learning that thing that they have to learn. Okay, and also sometimes failures makes you a very humble person. Your spouse will be a sharp-minded and a focused person. Okay, they have good focus on goal, and they will be a very sharp-minded person. Very focused and a goal-oriented spouse can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu. Okay, your spouse will have a lot of wisdom. Okay, very kind of a person who just this philosophical nature, just sharing wisdom, helping people, that kind of a nature can be seen. Your spouse can be a religious person also, because of this nakshatra influence, make a person. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. I'm very good and a religious person. Your spouse will be very knowledgeable, right, kind of a person, and very knowledgeable human being can be seen, because of this nakshatra influence. And it may also possible that your spouse like little bit of tradition, or little bit of tradition loving person can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Also, your spouse will respect elders. That kind of a thing can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Very philosophical person who likes to give advice to other. Okay, your spouse will be helpful by nature. Definitely she or he would love to help others. Okay, because of this nakshatra. Your spouse will have a very caring attitude, like she or he will just care other very well, like a very caring person, very caring personality can be seen, and this is highly prominent in them. You will see that they will have very caring nature. So you are lucky that you will get a spouse, like let's say whether you are a male or female, you are watching this for your husband or wife, you will get a husband or wife who will be caring nature, like who will have a very caring nature towards you. That's really lucky. A very pure hearted person can be seen. He or she would likes to love, like they love traveling. Because of this nakshatra influence, it show that your spouse will love traveling, okay? And it is 100% sure that there are high chances that they will love traveling, okay? Your spouse can be charitable and thoughtful by nature, okay? This can be seen that spouse will have charitable, like they loves to help poor people, they loves to do very like charity a lot, they feel really amazing when they do charity. So that kind of a thing can be seen. And also very intelligent kind of a person can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Punarvasu. Also sometimes they like to do poetry, like a poeting and a singing kind of a nature can also be seen, you know. No matter whether they are just a bathroom singer or just sing song anywhere or just sing song like for fun, but they love to do sometimes sing poem, like the poetic and the singing kind of a nature can be seen. A very passionate thinker and a good writer can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu. Also, your spouse will be fun loving and freedom loving person. They love freedom. Freedom is really important for them. Okay, so you have to keep that in your mind. Do not try to just steal or like just take control on them, because they love freedom and freedom is important for them. When you give them freedom, they will just take care you, love you more, okay? And your spouse may be good in business or gain success in business, it may also possible. A spouse can be a home loving person, like they love their home, they just care of their home, or they wants to be like do something from their home, that can also be seen, like some work from home can also be seen. It may also possible that your spouse will be close to their mother, right? Because this nakshatra show that your spouse can be close to their mother, they love their mother a lot, okay? Profession wise, if we see your spouse can be in teaching profession, maybe a writer or like doing writing kind of a profession, maybe a blogger, maybe public speaker, speaking related profession, healing, acting, entertainment, a spiritual teacher, right? These kind of a profession can be seen. Or you will get a very friendly and a friendly nature can be seen in your spouse, very friendly. Also very adjustable kind of a person who will adjust as per different situation in the life. Also they help people a lot and they do not expect anything in return, that kind of a thing can also be seen. A very pure hearted, a very good person, a person having innocence in their face, can have curly hairs, your spouse can have curly hair, it may be highly possible. And medium body structure, a very nice person, like very good person can be seen, I would like to tell you. And especially if you are a female and you are watching this for your husband, I am repeating again, if you are a female and you are watching this for your husband, then I can say that you are very damn lucky, you are a very lucky woman, because you will definitely get a very fantastic kind of a spouse when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Punarvasu. Imagine you will get a husband who's like a Lord Rama, right? So it's like imagine it's like a nakshatra of Lord Ram, so he is like a, you know, so you will get fantastic kind of a, you know, very nice person. But of course full horoscope analysis is required, but generally with this nakshatra it's really a good sign, okay? And especially because obviously it is ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter represent husband for your for females, so for them it's really fantastic. Now let's move on to our next nakshatra, which is Pushya. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Pushya? See, first of all, it is ruled by the planet Saturn. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Pushya, and Pushya is ruled by a planet Saturn, it show that like this nakshatra show patience, responsibility, these two things are like important. So your spouse can be humanitarian and thoughtful in nature, very humanitarian kind of a person can be seen. Sometime a bit stubborn nature can also be seen in your spouse, and a very bold personality. Also a religious person, your spouse will be religious, having bold personality and bit stubborn also. Intuitive knowledge can also be seen, and a very caring and nurturing kind of a person can be seen, like she or he will care you, nurture you, that kind of a nature can be seen. Also independent person, they love independence or freedom, okay? They are like independent kind of a human being, but a good natured person. Nature wise he or she will be very good, your spouse will be very good when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Pushya. Also creativity is also involved, right? In this nakshatra, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Pushya, spouse can be creative also. A caring and a kind hearted person can be expected because of this nakshatra influence. And also your spouse may love to help other people, like a very helping kind of a personality can be seen. A person who is attached to their family a lot. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra pushya, it show that your spouse attached to their family a lot, like their family is quite important for them. A very pure and a positive nakshatra actually pushya is, okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Selfless care and selfless nurture quality can be there in your spouse. That's really fantastic actually. Saturn will teach them some lessons in their life on like where to care or who to care, okay. So it can also possible, they are very protective about their family and loved one. You will see this in your spouse, that your spouse will be very protective by nature about their family and their loved one, and obviously you and your kids. So it's like a, that can also be seen. Spouse can be in hospitality business, maybe in politics, maybe in some high government position, also geologist, okay, biologist, or maybe in some defense like police, military, or like sometime musicians or artists can also be seen sometime with this nakshatra influence. Your spouse love a comfortable lifestyle. And now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Travel to nice places. They love to like to travel to nice places. They need, like they want to live in a comfortable lifestyle. These things are quite important for them. Your spouse, it may also possible that they can love, like they like to live a good life. It's quite important for them, like to show those good qualities, to live a good life. It's quite important. And especially traveling with family is quite important for your spouse. Like they love traveling, but they want to travel with you and your kids, like the entire family. Traveling with the entire family is important for them. Your spouse can be emotional and sensitive by nature, okay. It's like important thing that your spouse have this emotional and a sensitive kind of nature. You will not able to notice their emotional nature first time. It is important that was the first time you were not able to notice that, but after some time you will see that your spouse is like a much kind hearted person, like how much kind hearted they are. Oh my god, you will notice that, okay. Your spouse can have a round face, shape of the spouse, like face shape of your spouse can be round. And a bit foodie person, like they love food, like a very foodie person can be expected as your spouse will be foodie, okay. Spouse will be very good personality, that can be seen overall. And especially if you're watching for this for your wife, then you will have a beautiful and a cute wife, right? A beautiful and a cute wife. And your spouse will be a well-mannered person, and he or she know how to use time wisely. So overall, a nice person can be expected when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of pushya, okay. So guys, this is all about pushya nakshatra. Now let's talk about ashlesha. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of an ashlesha, then what kind of spouse you can expect? First of all, ashlesha nakshatra is ruled by the planet Mercury, okay. And this is associated, like this nakshatra is like a, nagas are related to this nakshatra, and where they are, it's like a money is always involved, like the wealth is always involved over here, okay. So obviously your spouse can have good wealth, okay. That can also be seen because of this nakshatra. First thing, your spouse will be very intelligent person. Definitely Mercury is there, like the ruling planet, so intelligence is involved. Your spouse will be intelligent, and your spouse can have a lot of business ideas, okay. He or she could be good in business. It may also possible. You can see that your spouse can be like a logical and a very analytical skill kind of a person. Like they will have a very like analytical skill. They are good in analysis. That can also be seen. Your spouse will be wealthy and protective. Yeah, definitely, because of this nakshatra influence. Wealthy spouse and a very protective by nature can be seen of your spouse. Your spouse could be protected about the family, like for family protection is quite important for them. And spouse will be a very family loving person. Okay, that can be seen. Your spouse could not trust people easily, right? You will see that your spouse, it's like they always have some, I can say that something in their mind. Okay, this person can be, it's like, so that can kind of a thing can be in their mind, so they do not trust people easily, and that's really good for them, because if they do that, then it's like there are less chances that your spouse will get cheated, because they do not trust people easily. But once they trust someone, then it's like a full trust, then they give their whole heart. Okay, your spouse can be very knowledgeable person because of this nakshatra. Spouse could know how to manage, spouse know home management very well. Okay, in home management, spouse can be very well, and spouse can be good in cooking. Especially if you are watching this for your wife, then she will be really good in cooking. Your spouse can be a bit shy, due to which people thought that they are little bit egoistic, but in actual they are not egoistic, they are little bit shy. That's why they are not able to speak or something like that. Okay, your spouse can be spiritual also. It may also possible because of the nakshatra influence. The spouse can be spiritual. Spouse will have personal space. Okay, spouse will have personal space that they would not like anyone to break. Like some people have this personal space, like, so I think you should understand that if you feel that yes, your spouse can have in future, so just try to give them their personal space. If they want to spend some time little bit alone in day, or maybe once in a week, so let them do that. It's like, okay, so your spouse by looks have some magnetic charm on their face. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. And have a very penetrating eye. This is prominent, I'm telling you again. They will have such a beautiful, charming, penetrating eyes that when people see, they're like, oh my god, this girl has such a beautiful penetrating eyes. That can be seen. Okay, your spouse can sense others' mind. They have really intuitive kind of a nature, something they have, that they can sense like what is going on in others' mind, like that kind of a nature. Intuitive capabilities can be, intuitive abilities can be seen in your spouse. Also, their spouse will have a very seductive look, very sexual kind of a thing can be seen. Your spouse will be a smart thinker. Okay, that can also be possible. Your spouse will be a bit hot tempered sometime. That can also be possible. Because of this nakshatra of Ashlesha, it may also possible that spouse may have little bit mood swings sometime. That's like also spouse can cleverly speak, so that good in presentation skills. That I would like to tell you that they are good in presentation skills. They speak actually so cleverly that they present like their presentation skills are like very good. Okay, spouse have emotional and sensitive also. Like spouse could be emotional and sensitive also. That can also be possible. Spouse can have good research abilities, like they are good in research. It can also possible. A bit foodie also. Okay, foodie person can be seen, and a very sensual and seductive in nature. That can definitely be there in Aslesha Nakshatra. Okay, so for that kind of a physical pleasure, it's really good. Spouse can be in politics, law, writer, teacher in terms of profession, like that. All these things like astrologer, teacher, writer, in law, in mysticism, in palmist, or maybe like tarot card reader. All these kind of a thing can be seen. For your spouse, intimacy or romantic bond is quite important. Like the romance that you guys have in marriage, it is really important for your spouse. Also try to communicate with your spouse as much as you can, because obviously Mercury is there in Aslesha Nakshatra ruler. So communication is quite important between you and your spouse. You have to make sure if your 7th lord is in Aslesha Nakshatra. Also your spouse like changes also. Okay, so maybe like like bad position room in like, or table is there in room for like next month, they're like okay, we just keep it for there, and then maybe after 2 months they're like let keep it there. So it's like changes are like they love changes. Okay, they feel alive when they do some change. Your spouse can be a travel lover also, like travel is quite important for your spouse. Travel loving personality can be seen. So overall, this is all about when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of oscillation. Now let's talk about Magha Nakshatra. So see what will happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha. Uh, so it is a very regal and a king throne kind of a nakshatra. Okay, uh, it is ruled by the planet Ketu. So when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, your spouse will have natural leadership quality that you see first thing, that they will naturally a leader kind of a person. Your spouse will have a very independent and powerful personality. Like it may also possible that it's quite hard for them to work under someone, or like doing jobs sometime can be difficult for your spouse, although they can do. So for an example, let's say they are doing a job in which they can be in like sometime that like say they are head of let's say 5 people only, but they are sitting in an office where they are the head. If someone is above them, then that person is not sit on the same place, that person have to call them, and then they are like okay this and that help. But normally on day to day life they are just sitting in some place where they are the head, or like they are some own business owner, that can also be seen. Okay, so your spouse can be in some authoritative position obviously. Also your spouse personality will have some charm, some attraction, that can also be seen. Your spouse will respect elders a lot. Okay, and that can be seen because of Magha Nakshatra influence. Your spouse will be a good mother or father. If your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, then your spouse will be a good mother or father. Your spouse will have a noticeable hairstyle, like a hairstyle will be a very noticeable. You have to understand that, very notice, like people will notice their hairstyle if your seventh lord is in Magha Nakshatra. Spouse like hairstyle a lot. It may also possible they just try to do some trendy or some different kind of a hairstyle because of this nakshatra influence. uh, your spouse will have a very sharp facial feature when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, which is ruled by the planet Ketu. Show that your spouse will have sharp facial features. Your spouse will have interest in a religious thing. 100% Ketu's involvement is there. So definitely spouse will have interest in religious things. Spouse can have fixed work routine. Okay, let's say they are doing something. So sometime it may possible that they can have fixed work routine kind of a thing. His spouse can be in some authoritative government related work. Like in authority can be involved, like high chances of authority in whatever they do. Spouse can be definitely be entrepreneur or doing something of their own business, can also be seen. His spouse can be in some creative field also. It may also possible. And see, when seventh lord is placed in the Magha Nakshatra, which is ruled by the planet Ketu, there is one special thing, and that is show. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. That you may have, it show that you may have some past life connection with your spouse. Yeah, again I'm telling that it may show that your spouse and you will have some past life connection, because your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, whose ruler is Ketu. So it's showing that past life connection. It may also possible that your spouse love to live peaceful lifestyle, because seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha and ruler Ketu, and it's showing that like peaceful, like peace is quite important for your spouse. You should guide your spouse to control their ego if they have, right? You have to analyze that if let's say you see that because your seventh lord is in nakshatra of Magha, so it may possible that your spouse may have ego a little bit. So you should just normally just guide them to control their ego. Okay, that is your duty. Okay, I would like to give you an advice. Your spouse will be a pure soul and a very nice person. Also, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Magha, I show that spouse can be from rich family. Okay, well respected and a rich family. rich spouse can be seen because of this nakshatra maga influence. Also very powerful and strong personality can be seen. It may also possible because of maga nakshatra 7th lord influence, that your spouse may devoted to god and highly spiritual. uh, Also, again, I'm telling you that spouse can be from a well respected family because of maga nakshatra influence. If we talk about profession, then your spouse can be politician, lawyer, head of some corporate, musician, historian, or a self employed, or maybe in some authoritative position. Authority involved, there are high chances of that. Okay, guys, now let's just talk about our next nakshatra, which is Purva Falguni. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Falguni? Seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Falguni. So first of all, Purva Falguni nakshatra is ruled by planet Venus. Okay, now it shows that your spouse will be a very creative person. Okay, spouse will be a very creative person. Okay, and spouse can be from some creative field. This can also be seen. Then it can also show that your spouse will be a pure and a kind hearted person. That's really a good thing about Purva Falguni nakshatra, that he or she will be a very pure, very kind hearted kind of a person. Also, due to this nakshatra influence, your spouse may likes to help other people, like very helping nature can be seen of a spouse because of this nakshatra influence, like a helping a people a lot can be seen. uh, it is also possible that your spouse will have interest toward government jobs or politics. Okay, government related some things can be his interest. So let's say he's working something of his own, like creative kind of a thing. Let's say he's a famous video creator, so it may also possible that he also wants to join politics. That kind of interest can be seen. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Now let's say it may also possible that your, because of this nakshatra influence, your spouse will be wealthy and successful in his life. Actually, this is a very fortunate nakshatra and prosperous nakshatra, honestly, to have. When your seventh lord is in Purva Falguni nakshatra, it is like a very fortunate and prosperous nakshatra. Honestly, you are lucky. Your spouse will achieve huge success, but with delay and hard work. Spouse will achieve success, huge success, but definitely delay will be there in his life, and like hard work he have to put or she have to put. Your spouse will be like your life. Life is like a full of enjoyment. It may also possible that they do a work in which they enjoy. So like a life is full of enjoyment. Also, spouse would like to take rest. It may also possible, maybe he just work from home for an example, so he may just take rest in between. Now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Like some naps, after some, like maybe 3 hours or 2 hours, it may also possible. Your spouse like to do work on bed or couch, or maybe eat food there also. It may also possible that your spouse is like working from home and he's like working on this desk or table, and then after some time he's like, oh, let's just go and just take some rest on the bed and at the same time keep working. So it may also possible. Also, he or may sometimes likes to eat food on the spouse, that on bed, that can also be seen, or like a couch. Your spouse can be creative in profession or like a teaching also. Like creative profession can be seen, or teaching can also be seen, or maybe both. Your spouse may involve in. Your spouse can have a very youthful energy, like a very youthful appearance can be seen. Maybe it may possible, let's say for example, he will be 26-year-old, let's say, a 28-year-old or whatever. So it may possible that he may look like 22 or 21. So youthful kind of energy can be seen, and a very playful and a very nice person can be seen. Appearance wise, your spouse will be very beautiful. That's really one thing, because obviously it's like a Venus energy is there, so that's why. Your spouse will have a charming and a good personality. You're gonna have to see that your spouse will have a charming and a good personality. Because of this nakshatra influence, 100% your spouse will have a very charming personality. uh, your spouse likes to dress well, right? They love new trends. They're wearing the new shoes, like the fashionable shoes, fashionable clothes, fashionable sunglasses, trendy kind of a, dressing sense can be seen. And your spouse can have a great inclination towards luxury. Okay, they have great inclination towards luxury. Your spouse likes to wear branded clothes, 100%. Like, they may would like to just wear some branded cloth, or maybe like using branded perfume, like using Tom Ford perfume, using Creed Aventus, or maybe using Dior Sauvage, Blue de Chanel. All these kind of things can be seen, although these are some of my favorite perfume, that's why I just taken their name. Okay, uh, like the Noir of Tom Ford. Okay, Tom Ford Noir the Noir, it's like fantastic. Now, it may also possible that his spouse may have interest of perfume collection, some good watches collection. That kind of thing can also be seen. It may also possible that his spouse will have a very sweet voice like mine. Yeah, very beautiful, very attractive, and a very sweet voice, my dear boys and girls. Your spouse can have an independent mind again, like me. Actually, honestly, when I see this nakshatra, I am feeling that this nakshatra describe me. Because the qualities of this nakshatra have, honestly, I feel maybe my future spouse will have this seventh lord in this nakshatra, due to which I have this kind of qualities, because almost 99% of these things match with me. Now, your spouse will have, like, I mean, like these nakshatra qualities what is showing, it's actually in me. Now, your spouse will love to live in peaceful place, like it may possible, like the peaceful life and peaceful place can be seen. Your spouse will be very romantic person, that's really fantastic. Also, a very sensual person can be seen because of this nakshatra. Okay, your spouse like music, drama, dance, all these kind of things. Is like a dance lover, maybe learning little bit dance and doing this and that. Attractive and sensual kind of a person can be seen. Your spouse will have a creative intelligence. Okay, you're gonna have to see that he's really a creative person, and a creative intelligence can be seen. Your spouse can be in acting, music, model, business profession, can be in sales, photography, cosmetology, jewelry, or like in some politics or government related profession also. Or maybe your spouse can be involved in multiple profession related to these things. Okay, or a teachers can be sometimes seen, like he may create some course, or maybe selling, that can also be called a teacher. Or maybe a strict teacher can also be called, like not a strict actually, it's like a, like for an example, I'm teaching you these things, so it is also a teacher kind of a thing. Okay, that may also possible. Although if you have your seventh lord in this nakshatra, then your spouse, or I can say your wife, you will have a good marriage life. Okay, due to the blessing of this nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Uttar Falguni. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Uttar Falguni? When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Uttar Falguni, first of all, it is ruled by a planet Sun. Okay, so Sun influence will definitely be there. So it show that your spouse will have natural leadership qualities, like a kind of a leader. That kind of qualities definitely can be seen because of ruling planet is Sun. That's why your spouse will be a kind-hearted person. Can be possible that spouse can be kind-hearted person. Your spouse believe a lot in helping other people, like he or she is like love to help other people. It may possible your spouse like when people appreciate them. Okay, so they have this nature that, let's say, people are saying, hey, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are this and you are that. When people are appreciating them, they are like, oh, thank you, and like they may like it. So your spouse will be active and energetic person. That can also be seen, like a full of energy kind of. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. A person. Also, this nakshatra make your spouse very career oriented and a practical person. Okay, that's really possible. Very practical and a career oriented kind of person. Your spouse will be humanitarian, okay, and love to help society. Okay, very humanitarian kind of a person. One more thing is like in this nakshatra, it shows that is for his future spouse, friendship is really important. Okay, friendship and relationship is quite important for your spouse. Also, your spouse will have practical approach in life. Okay, she or he will be a very practical person. But the best thing about this nakshatra that the spouse you will get is like a pure hearted person, and they would like to help other. They have helping nature. One more thing, your spouse will have dedication towards you. You will get a dedicated husband or wife because of this Uttar Falguni Nakshatra influence. Okay, spouse will not like to be alone. This is like another thing. Like she or he would always like to be engaged with someone. That kind of nature can be seen, and definitely he or she will have a good attractive look. Your spouse will have attractive by look. Attraction in their appearance. Also, it may possible that the communication wise they can be very good. Like good communication can be seen when 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra, and overall like a attractive, wealthy and a generous person can be seen. Also, your spouse will have sensual nature. Okay, sensual nature can also be seen. Okay, so you can enjoy that. A beautiful, intelligent kind of a spouse, also having talent in business, that can also be seen that your spouse may have talent in business. Your spouse may have mystical power or like intuition also, like very intuitive kind of person can also be experienced over here. Your spouse likes to live luxurious lifestyle. Okay, that can also be possible, like luxury, these fashion, luxury, that kind of nature, or I can say living luxurious kind of a thing can be seen. Also, your spouse can be a bit controlling by nature. That you have to just try to adjust, because you will get a spouse who will be controlling by nature. Your spouse can be in acting, media, writing, in some healing profession, health department, businessman, like doing business of something, can be astrologer also. Okay, math professor, sales, etc. And also your spouse may be like to live a very clean and an organized way. That is the thing that you can see. Okay, so this is all for Uttar Falguni Nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Nakshatra of Hasta. What will gonna happen when your 7th lord is placed in the Nakshatra of Hasta? First of all, Nakshatra of Hasta is ruled by the planet Moon. So what you can see just by knowing that this is ruled by the planet Moon, your 7th lord is placed in the Nakshatra of Hasta, it shows that your spouse will be emotional. Okay, spouse will be emotional by nature. Spouse will be sensitive and caring by nature. Emotional, sensitive, nurturing, caring, very motherly kind of a nature can be seen. Like the same way a mother do nourishment to his children, to her children, in the same way your spouse is like, hey honey, let me just cook for you, take care of you. That kind of a nature can be seen. Nurture you. Okay, love you, take care you, nurture you. That kind of a nature can be seen. Your spouse will have high feminine energy. Okay, very high feminine energy can be seen. Your spouse can be good in work related to cooking, painting, or maybe playing instrument. That can also be possible. Your spouse will be a very intelligent and a business minded person. That you're gonna have to think. Intelligent and a business minded person you will get. Spouse will be intelligent and spouse will be a smart thinker also. Okay, a spouse can have good communication skills. That can also be possible. Spouse can be in some healing field also. Okay, communication wise definitely good. smart thinker, intelligent, and can be in healing field. Healing field can be like caring someone, like having doctors are also like a kind of a thing. Then these astrology, tarot card reading, palmistry, all these kind of things. Or maybe like someone who just heal other people by their word, like motivating them. That can also be a healing field. Spouse can be entrepreneur, like doing something of their own, can also be possible. Your spouse will have some creative profession, that can also be possible, like any creativity can be involved in their profession. Your spouse will have interest in spirituality. Okay, spiritual nature can also be seen. And the one good best thing is that your spouse will be helpful by nature, like he or she would likes to help other people. That's really a really good quality, to help other people. Okay, because once you do that, it will definitely come back to you in the future. Your spouse will likes to save other people. That's really a fantastic thing. That's why she or she can be a doctor. Okay, it may also possible. Your spouse will have a good healing capabilities, again this coming. Okay, and they have also qualities to counsel other, like for example they can be a psychiatrist or like a psychologist. These kind of thing can also be possible, in which they can also heal and counsel other. Okay, your spouse will be a likable person, like they will like other. Your spouse will have an attractive personality, very attractive kind of personality. Your spouse will be sensitive and artistic by nature. Okay, that will be there. Now, sensitive and artistic spouse can also be seen. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Your spouse can be fond of traveling. Okay, they may love to travel to different countries or different places. There's love for traveling can be seen. A spouse will be humanitarian and love to help other people. That nature again possible, like they would love to just helping without caring about other things, like that kind of nature. Your spouse can have a feeling to feel other people pain, so that your spouse can help them. See, some people naturally have this feeling that, oh, other people are like in pain, so I have to help them. So that kind of a nature your spouse will have. That's why they will have a very helping nature. Okay, definitely your spouse will be a beautiful and a charming personality and having a youthful appearance. Your spouse will have youthful appearance. Okay, again they may look younger than their age. That is again possible over here. Your spouse will be have a good attractive smile. Very attractive smile can be seen. Your spouse will be very practical and goal oriented person. That can also be possible. Your spouse will be spiritual later in their life. That means that later in their life they will become a very spiritual person. Your spouse may have great interest in palmistry. Okay, among all these fields like astrology, tarot card, this and that, your spouse will have interest in palmistry, like reading the hand. Okay, it may possible. Your spouse likes to be well organized. They likes to live a life which is well organized. Your spouse will have good convincing ability, like they can convince other people very easily because of their ability. Your spouse can be in profession like painter, artist, craftsman, scholars, teacher, writers, sales, communication, public relation, hospital, travel industry, palmistry. Okay, palmist kind of a person, etc. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra. This is all about this. And now let's talk about next nakshatra, which is Chitra nakshatra. So what will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Chitra? Okay, so guys, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Chitra, first of all, Chitra nakshatra is ruled by the planet Mars. It shows that your spouse will be energetic, active, and a very courageous person. Okay, because of Mars energy right there, Chitra nakshatra ruler is Mars. Spouse will be energetic, full of energy, active, and courageous person. Tremendous courage. And aggression can be seen in them. Okay, naturally you can see a little bit aggression in them. Your spouse could be spiritual also. Okay, your spouse can be also, like it may possible that a spouse like bright color clothes. When your seventh lord is placed in the Chitra nakshatra, spouse would like to wear bright color clothes. Spouse maybe likes to wear ornaments also. Okay, spouse will be beautiful not only by looks but also by his or her heart. Okay, That means from inside as well as from outside, your spouse will be a beautiful person. That's the best thing about this nakshatra. Your spouse can also be in. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Designing, architecture, building, construction, all these kind of a field. Your spouse can also be like pictures, can also be work in a field where pictures is involved, like graphic designing, x-ray, or anything where painting, etc., where pictures is involved can also be possible. Your spouse can be logical and analytical person, like they have good analytical skills. That can also be possible. Your spouse may know how to do things properly. That's really a great thing about them. They would like to do that things properly and they know how to do it. They will have tremendous, or I can say very good communication skill. They may like to work in organized way. Like for some people, they are just work in very unorganized way. But some people likes to just keep things on their place, very proper organized way. That kind of nature can be seen. Also, your spouse will be fashionable. Yes, very fashionable person, and have passion, very passionate person. Both fashion and passion can be seen in your spouse. Your spouse may like to wear designer clothes. Okay, your spouse may likes to wear designer clothes. That's really amazing thing again. Your spouse may likes to make balance in the relationship. Like relationship balance is really important for your spouse. Okay, so they always make sure that you guys have a balance in relationship. Your spouse can be in business also, like a business person. One more thing is like your spouse will have a long hairs appearance wise and have a very magnetic and charming personality. Okay, that's really a good point. Your spouse may have a very bright eye. That can also be possible, or I can say also very mysterious eyes. Your spouse may like gemstones. Okay, spouse may be a bit egoistic also. Spouse could be wealthy also. Okay, egoistic and wealthy spouse can be seen because of this Chitra nakshatra. Spouse may like to wear colorful clothes. Okay, again that can also be possible. Your spouse will be expressive by nature and honest person. Spouse likes jewelry. Your spouse is a jewelry lover. Okay, now spouse, because of this nakshatra influence, can have career interest in interior design, architect, jewelry, lawyer, judge, radio, TV, film industry, forces, armed forces, detective, etc. So these are some profession that can be your spouse can be in. So this is all about Chitra nakshatra. Now let's move on to our next nakshatra, which is Swati. So what will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Swati? See, Swati nakshatra is ruled by planet Rahu. Okay, so now you can see there are some amazing things can be here. Okay, now what it is, we can see that now down the line. So when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Swati, first of all, it is ruled by the planet Rahu. Okay, Rahu Dev is over here. Now your spouse can have magnetic charm, first thing, because of this planet influence in Swati nakshatra. Your spouse will have magnetic charm when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Swati, and he or she will be an attractive person. Okay, spouse will be beautiful. A spouse will have a youthful energy. Okay, very youthful kind of a person can be seen. Spouse will be adjustable by nature, and they can adjust themselves as per different situation. That's really a good quality. Your spouse may love to travel to different places, or maybe traveling to foreign countries, like important for your spouse, or they love foreign travels. That can also be possible. Your spouse likes to maintain the balance in life. Okay, like balance is quite important for them. And also spouse will believe in equality in relationship. Like they are not one of those person, like for an example, like you are a man, I am a woman, or like you are a woman, I am a man, so you have to do this kind of thing, I have to do this work. No, they believe in equality. They are like relationship equality is important. we are just like two individuals, and then we're gonna have to just divide the work, etc. So equality can be seen. Your spouse will be very independent and a freedom loving person. Just listen that again. Your spouse will be very independent and a freedom loving person. So for your good relationship, let's just give them their space. Okay, that's a smart decision. Your spouse will be a very social person. Okay, very social kind of a person can be seen. Spouse will be attracted towards you a lot because of this nakshatra. That's really a good thing. Spouse will have good dressing style, and 100% very different, very unique dressing style can be seen because obviously this nakshatra. Your spouse will have a very creative communication style. Okay, now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Very creative kind of a communication. Spouse will be diplomatic by nature also. Okay, a spouse cannot like to work under the other people. Diplomatic spouse who would not like to work under other people. Spouse will be kind, happy and humorous by nature. Okay, very kind person, happy person, and like a jolly humorous kind of a person can be seen. Spouse may have interest in psychology, or spouse can be political nature also because of Rahu influence. It makes your spouse a very political nature person. Spouse can have their own business, or spouse can be in sales, yoga, some legal profession like law, etc., judge, travel industry, stockbroker, trader, medicine or alcohol related profession. Spouse will have love for luxury and comfort. Sometime your spouse may like to show off. That can also be possible. Your spouse will be highly independent person. Spouse will be honest and a pure hearted also. One thing over here is that spouse may not like criticism because is nakshatra Swati nakshatra influence. Spouse is a kind of a person who does not like criticism, so try to avoid that. Okay, your spouse will be overall a nice person, very intelligent person, independent person, and can be in all these profession that I told you. So overall this kind of a person can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Swati. Now let's talk about next nakshatra, which is Vishakha. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Vishakha? First of all, Vishakha nakshatra is ruled by planet Jupiter. Okay, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Vishakha, it is ruled by planet Jupiter. So obviously it's like a blessing of a god is there. Jupiter is the blessing of the god. So it shows that your spouse will be a very goal oriented person, like their goal is quite important for them, and they will have a strong willpower. Very strong willpower can be seen. Spouse will be courageous, and a person like a very courageous person can be seen, and spouse can be a good advisor, or I can say a good counselor, like who can just advise or guide other people very well. That kind of a nature can be seen because obviously this planet rule is Jupiter. So that's why it's like a spouse can have interest in astrology, occult and all these kind of field. Spouse will be a strong personality, and your spouse face show confidence. Okay, that can be seen. And spouse will be a very honest person because of Jupiter influence. Very honest person can be seen. Confident personality, attractive person your spouse will be, and they may also possible that they may have the it may also possible that they may have a round face shape. Okay, and it may also possible that your spouse can be a bit foodie also. Although your spouse will be a very truthful and an honest person, highly focused on their goals, and can be a selective also. Okay, very selective kind of a person. Also very sociable person can be seen. Okay, also one thing your spouse will have, if let's say you do something wrong or like cheated them, then it's really hard for them to forgive others easily. Okay, so they will not forgive anyone easily. They always keep that thing in their mind. So that is really, you have to take care of that. Your spouse will be a very active person. And one thing is really fantastic that because of this nakshatra. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Your spouse will be devoted towards you. Okay, your spouse will have a strong love and devotion towards you. So that's really a fantastic thing. Your spouse will face many challenges in life, but definitely will gain success also. Your spouse will have good wisdom, and they learn by their life experiences a lot. Also, it may be possible that in the second half of your life, or maybe after like 30, your spouse will have good life. Okay. After their 30 age, they will have a good life. Your spouse will definitely achieve success after all the problems, hurdles. It may also possible sometime your spouse can be aggressive also, but by this nakshatra, it may there are high chances that your spouse will be wealthy. A wealthy spouse can be seen because of this Vishaka nakshatra influence. Spouse will be also a very wise person. So wealthy and wise spouse can be seen. They may also have inclination or like as a interest in these field like astrology, palmistry, tarot card reading. So it may also possible. Also, spouse can be inclined toward politics. That can also be possible. Spouse can be in research, scientist, military leader, writer, public speaker, politician, lawyer. All these kind of a profession can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Vishaka. So this is all about Vishaka nakshatra. Now let's talk about Anuradha. So we're gonna talk about our next nakshatra, which is Anuradha nakshatra. Anuradha nakshatra. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Anuradha? So first of all, guys, Anuradha nakshatra is ruled by planet Saturn. But here is an amazing thing. It is ruled by the planet Saturn, and I would like to tell you that it is one of the best nakshatra to have. Why? I will tell you. Just wait for some time. First of all, it is associated with the success. This is the Anuradha nakshatra, is the nakshatra of success. Okay. This nakshatra show, like I can say, it is also associated with the pure, the true love. The purest form of the love is associated with Anuradha nakshatra, like the kind of a love that you can see between Lord Krishna and Radhaji is like the kind of a love that you can associate it with this kind of a nakshatra. As you also know that the name of this nakshatra is Anuradha, that's why. Okay, it shows that your partner, your spouse will have selfless love for you. Okay, your spouse will be devoted towards you. Your spouse life will have lots of challenges, but finally they will overcome those and achieve success in life. Your spouse will be like a friend for you. Okay, like you and your spouse will have a friend like a relation. Okay, so you and your spouse will have a friend kind of a bond, and your spouse likes to achieve their goal by teamwork. Teamwork is important for your spouse. Your spouse will be hardworking, logical, and a very practical person can be seen. Your spouse will have a very strong willpower. Okay. Also, because of this nakshatra, your spouse may have interest in astrology. Also, there are high chances because, in Radha nakshatra show that your spouse may have interest in astrology. Also, your spouse love to travel. And also, traveling to the foreign land is quite important for your spouse. And one more thing I would like to tell you, that because your seventh lord is placed in the Anuradha nakshatra, it shows that you may have past life connection with your spouse. Also, there are... Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. High chances that your spouse can be a foreigner or lives in foreign land. Also, after marriage, you can settle into a foreign land with your spouse. There are high chances of that with this nakshatra. Okay, the foreign kind of a thing is highly associated with this nakshatra. Also, they show that your spouse will have nice time management skill. Okay, and also your spouse will have an attractive face. Your spouse will have lean body structure and a very attractive space and a very attractive face and a very bright eyes and very innocent kind of a face, like very innocence on his or her face can be seen. Your spouse will have a very nice body and a very attractive body, and he or she will be a pure hearted person, that can also be seen, a very loyal person. uh, you must be, friend of your spouse. You must have to understand that if you want your marriage to be fantastic, then first try to be friend of your spouse, then you will see that your married life will be fantastic. Okay. Also, your spouse value true love. Your spouse will have a secret nature also. Okay. uh, First try to become friend of your spouse, then you will see that your marriage will be fantastic. Spouse will be so good that people jealous from them, that you have such a fantastic spouse. Are you getting my point? Your spouse will be so good that people jealous from them, that you have such a fantastic spouse. uh, your spouse may have interest in spirituality also because of this nakshatra. Also, your spouse can be good in business, that may also possible. There is a lot of friendliness in your spouse. Okay, and he or she will be a good listener also. Spouse will definitely be attractive and very passionate kind of a person. Okay, they can be a psychic, wanderer, and fond of family life. Family life is important for your spouse. Now, your spouse can be in some business, travel industry, conference planner, dentist, lawyer, actor, musician, engineer, and all these kind of stuff can be seen. All these kind of profession. Now, I would like to tell you one important thing. As your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Saturn, although this nakshatra has fantastic qualities, okay, but there is one problem. There may be some delay in marriage, that can be seen, but it's okay, guys. If you getting such a fantastic person, then some delay can be okay, because sometime waiting for, so a great person is really a good thing. You get such a fantastic spouse, so it's like okay, little bit delay, but for sure, for like full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Your seventh lord is in Anuradha nakshatra, still may not be delay because of some positive aspect, and all these kind of stuff can be seen. So guys, this is all about Anuradha nakshatra. Now let's talk about Jyeshtha nakshatra. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha? See, first of all, it is ruled by the planet Mercury. Okay, so Jyeshtha nakshatra is ruled by the planet Mercury. So it shows that your spouse could be a very mature person, can be seen because of Jyeshtha nakshatra. Also, when your seventh lord is in Jyeshtha nakshatra, it shows that your spouse will be authoritative person. Authoritative nature can be seen. Also, your spouse could have interest in occult, astrology, etc. because of this nakshatra, or maybe tarot card reading, maybe palmistry, all these kind of stuff can be seen. A spouse could be very strong personality. Okay, spouse will have very strong personality. A spouse will have a good wealth and successful person also. You can also see that. A wealthy spouse can be seen. Spouse want respect and honor when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. Your spouse will be hardworking person. Okay, and he or she will hard work to make good image in society. Your spouse likes to do things to make sure their image is right in society. Okay. Also, it may possible that your spouse, can have some business kind of thing, or maybe entrepreneur type kind of a person, like entrepreneurial spirit can be seen in your spouse. Your spouse could be could have good looks actually, and athletic body structure. It may also possible, and there may be some curiosity in your spouse eyes, that can also be seen because of this nakshatra influence, Jyeshtha. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. And they will have an attractive personality, and curly hairs can also be seen of your spouse when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Jyeshtha. Your spouse can be business person, self-employment, like self-employed kind of a person in management position in some companies, can be in some defense, military leader, etc. Musician, modeling, engineering, intellect, philosopher, etc. can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse will be a little bit controlling by nature. You're gonna have to see that spouse can be a little bit controlling by nature. A spouse will be helping and have charitable nature. Spouse would like to help other and will have a very charitable nature. A pure hearted person but looks serious from outside. Okay, your spouse will be a very pure hearted person, but from outside he or she may look a little bit serious. Actually, your spouse want to achieve high status in their life. This nakshatra also show that when your seventh lord is in this nakshatra of Jyeshtha, it show that your spouse would like to achieve high status in their life. Your spouse will be an open-minded person. Okay, very open-minded kind of individual can be seen. A spouse may have good writing skills and have many friends. A spouse will have love for children and will be charitable by nature. Very charitable kind of a person can be seen. Your spouse can be self-employed, leader, musician, dancer, model, police, detective, engineer, philosopher, etc. can be seen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Jyeshtha. So this is all about Jyeshtha nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Mula. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mula? Okay, guys. So let's see. See, first of all, Mula nakshatra is ruled by the planet Ketu. Okay, it is ruled by the planet Ketu. It shows that your spouse will have an awesome willpower. First thing, when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mula, it shows that your spouse will have fantastic willpower. Okay, very strong will kind of a person, like having strong willpower can be seen because of this nakshatra influence. Spouse will be very optimistic by nature. Okay, optimism can be seen, like optimistic person can be seen because of this nakshatra. Very research minded spouse. Okay, research minded kind of a person can be seen. And actually because of this Mula nakshatra influence, your seventh lord is in the Mula nakshatra. It shows that a spouse love to research on things, on different things they would love to research. Your spouse will have interest in occult, astrology, like astrology, tarot card reading, palmistry, and all these kind of healing related field can be there's interest in your spouse. Your spouse will have spiritual and psychological your spouse will have spiritual and philosophical mind. Okay, very spiritual and philosophical spouse can be expected when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mula. Your spouse would like to find the truth. Okay, your spouse would like to find the truth. Truth finding nature can be seen. So if you cheated your spouse, if you do something like telling a lie to your spouse, then just be careful, because it may be possible that they may have truth finding nature. So somehow they will just find it out. Okay, so just be careful, my dear boys and girls. Your spouse will always connect it to their birthplace, like no matter where they live. Let's say they're born in any country and they settle in some far away place. Let's say they are born in let's say for example they are born. Now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. In France, and they are settled in United States of America, so still they are connected to the French people, to the France, because of this nakshatra of Mula, my dear boys and girls. So your spouse also your spouse life will have some suffering in the early stages of life. There may be some suffering. Your spouse will have emotional suffering also, especially. Okay, see, in the early stages of your marriage also there may be some emotional issues, but later it will be sorted out. Okay, that can also be seen. Your spouse will be a very loyal person, by the way, because of this nakshatra influence. Very loyal person can be seen, and spouse expect you, actually want you to be loyal also. He or she will be a loyal person. Okay, now they want you to be loyal. Okay, so you must have to just keep that in mind. If you cheat your spouse, just listen carefully, if you cheat your spouse, then your spouse will 100% find that. I am telling you again, if you cheat your spouse and your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Mula, then your spouse will definitely find that. So just be careful about that. You must not hide anything from your spouse. See, this nakshatra, when your 7th lord is in Mula nakshatra, show that spouse have a very research, truth finding type of nature, and you are just hiding something from your spouse. Definitely, someday he or she will find it because of their nature. Okay, so you must have to just keep these things in your mind before plan accordingly. I would like to suggest you. Your spouse will be curious by nature. That's why they have the truth finding, na, because of curiosity. Your spouse will love to live in nature. That's really a thing that I also like to live in the nature. Your spouse will have charming and attractive personality, my dear boys and girls. So be happy for that and just enjoy your life. Your spouse will have a sharp eyes. Okay, very charming personality, sharp eyes, a pointed nose. Pointed nose can also be seen, and a very slim body can be expected of your spouse. Your spouse may like blue, black color. Okay, that can also be possible because of this nakshatra of Mula influence. Your spouse and you have a past life connection. Yeah, this is really an important thing I would like to repeat again. You and your spouse will have a past life connection because of this nakshatra of Mula. It shows that you if your 7th lord is in the nakshatra of Mula, you and your spouse are connected with the past life. Your spouse may have changes in work, right, in life. It may also possible, and they will stable a bit late in your life, like stability come but a little bit late. Your spouse will choose respect first. Okay, respect is the first priority of your spouse. Your spouse may have independent kind of a nature. Very independent person can be expected. Your spouse will be attractive, learned, and a skilled person. Very independent person having a good skills, attractive personality can be seen. Your spouse can be a bit stubborn also. Where a stubborn spouse can also be a little bit expected. Spouse can be public speaker, writer, teacher, spiritual teacher, lawyer, politician, pharmacist, doctor, and can be in their own business or sales, etc. These are the some profession that can be expected when your 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra of Mula. So this is all about Mula nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Purva Ashada nakshatra. Guys, when your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Ashada, then first of all it is ruled by the planet Venus. Okay, Purva Ashada nakshatra is ruled by planet Venus. Now it shows that your spouse will be very intelligent person. Okay, very intelligent kind of a person can be expected when your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Ashada. Spouse will be a very risk-taking mentality. Like some people are just not able to take risk, and some people have this risk-taking mentality. Then your spouse would be one who is ready to take risk in their life. Spouse will be very creative and artistic by nature. Obviously, because it is this nakshatra is ruled by the planet Venus, it shows that spouse will have a risk-taking personality, and a very creative and artistic nature person can be expected. Can be working in some creative field or very creative and different stuff. Spouse may have desire to be popular. Your spouse wants to be popular when your 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra of Purva Ashada. Your spouse like fashion. Your spouse like creative stuff. Okay, creative stuff, fashion, like having good clothes, fashionable latest trendy clothes, having the good perfumes, and all these kind of stuff can be expected. Your spouse will be adventurous by nature. Like adventurous spouse can be expected when your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Ashada. Spouse will be optimistic by nature. Spouse will have a never give up type of attitude. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive % discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Like I will never give up. I will never give up. That kind of attitude can be expected. Your spouse may likes to go to sea beach or water related places. It may also possible that a spouse likes to go to sea beach or like the water related places. Okay, that's really high chances of that. Your spouse may have interest in foreign travel. Okay, they wants to travel to foreign countries, or they maybe want to settle into a foreign country. It may also possible. Your spouse may somewhat actually mysterious also, like mysterious person can also be a little bit expected because of this nakshatra. Spouse will like honest person, and they love honesty. That is really another thing, that they love honesty. Spouse will be a justice lover and a very good advisor. Okay, uh, the, uh, one thing is there, that because of this nakshatra influence, your spouse will be good in advising other people, but they do not like if someone advise them. Okay, that is really an amazing thing, that they would like to advise other, but they don't like advice of others. Okay, so that can also be seen. uh, your spouse will have a very mature body formation, beautiful attractive personality can be expected, and a very beautiful and attractive eyes especially can be seen of your spouse because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse may have a very strong belief system. Okay, a spouse will be good in speaking, and especially in debate they will be fantastic. Your spouse will be fantastic in speaking and debate. Your spouse will have philosophical mind. Okay, very philosophical mind can be expected because of this nakshatra. uh, and also your spouse will be proud and faithful, and a very humble spouse can be expected. This is really a good thing. Your spouse may have many friends, and definitely your spouse will have good married life. That means you will have a good married life because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse may have although interest in, like, great interest in law, politics, etc. And now in terms of profession wise, a spouse can be a writer, a teacher, maybe in some profession related to shipping, or maybe in travel industry, travel business, foreign trade, tour guide, actor, film industry, public speaking. All these kind of stuff can be expected because of this, what I can say, Purvashada nakshatra influence. So this is all about Purvashada. Now we just talk about Uttar. We will talk about Uttarashada nakshatra. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Uttarashada, my dear boys and girls? See, first of all, it is ruled by the planet Sun. Uttarashada nakshatra is ruled by planet Sun. So it shows that when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Uttarashada, it shows that your spouse will have leadership qualities. Okay, leadership qualities can be expected because of this nakshatra. Your spouse will be a very kind-hearted person. Okay, kind-hearted person can be expected. Your spouse would likes to help other people. Okay, that can also be expected, that your spouse have a very liking kind of a nature. Your spouse would like to help other persons. Spouse will like when someone praise them. Spouse really like them, like let's say you are just praising them, then a spouse is like, oh, thank you, yeah, they will feel fantastic actually. Your spouse initial stage of life will have struggle, but later in their life they will definitely have success because of this nakshatra influence. Okay, your spouse will have a strong willpower. You're gonna have to understand that because of this nakshatra influence, your spouse will have good willpower. Okay, my dear boys and girls, your spouse will have a very sharp intellect. Okay, very intellectual, like good intellectual power can be expected in your spouse because of this Uttarashada nakshatra, which is ruled by the planet Sun. Your spouse will be a very honest person, and he or she will like honesty, so you have to keep that in mind. Your spouse will have a goodness in nature, and they will be a very skillful person. Okay, a very skillful person can be expected. They have good teaching abilities also. Your spouse will have very good, I can say, teaching abilities, and also your spouse will guide you in your life to reach the right track. Okay, so you will also get someone who is like a teacher in your life in the form of your. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Spouse who would guide you to be right on the track. Your spouse will be a religious minded person, and they will respect elders. Okay, also your spouse may love traveling and talking to the people of different country. That is like their their hobby kind of a thing, to travel to different places, to meet the people of different culture, to talk to them. That can also be expected. Your spouse will have sincere and kind nature. Okay, that can also be expected because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse will be honest and have a sharp intellect. Okay, your spouse can be a bit funny also sometime, like sometime very funny and a jolly kind of a nature can also be expected. Your spouse can be a public servant of some kind, and also your spouse can be a counselor also. Okay, counselor spouse can also be expected. Your spouse may become famous in later part of their life. They will become famous. Okay, definitely they will be. Your spouse may be in research, scientist, military work, fighter, government job, social work, politics, etc. Your spouse will be good in looks. Okay, my dear boys and girls. Your spouse will have a mature body formation. Your spouse personality will have a very good aura. You can also notice that your spouse, you just notice some people have such a good aura in their personality that as soon as they enter the room, it feel like really fantastic. So that kind of a thing you can get in your spouse. Your spouse love to dress well. They will have a very good dressing kind of a thing, like dressing sense, I can say. Your spouse will be a very pure hearted person. That's really a good thing. And also your spouse love to help other people. Okay, it is actually a very good nakshatra, to be honest with you. So it's really good when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra. And after marriage, a nice prosperity and a very good life can be seen when lord is placed in this nakshatra of Uttarashada. Okay, no. Let's just talk about Shravan Nakshatra. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Shravana? See, first of all, Shravana Nakshatra is ruled by the planet Moon. Okay, and it is quite amazing nakshatra. Why? Because this nakshatra, like himself, Lord Vishnu, is associated with this nakshatra. Okay, so that's really fantastic. It's like showing the blessings of Lord Vishnu if you have seventh lord in this nakshatra of Shravana. So it is ruled by the planet Moon. It shows that spouse will be emotional person, very caring person, and a bit sensitive also, but a very nice person. Your spouse will have a mother-like nourishment. Okay, like they will care you, love you, nurture you, cook for you. So that kind of a thing can be seen. Your spouse will be very serious about their work. Okay, and your spouse will be a hard-working person. Your spouse can be a workaholic person, and your spouse love to work in organized way. Your spouse will have a religious nature. That can also be expected. And one thing for sure, that your spouse will be a good listener, or like listening skills of your spouse will be fantastic because of this Shravana Nakshatra influence. Also your spouse may like to listen songs, or it may possible, let's say they are working, even with working they likes to just listen some beautiful relaxing music, or like romantic music, or listening songs with the work. That can also be possible. Listening is quite important for your spouse. Your spouse will be nice. They will be nice in advising other people. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Like they give such a good advice that help other people. Okay. Your spouse will definitely give good advice to you also. So you will get a good advisor in the form of your spouse. Your spouse will be well educated and a very knowledgeable person. Your spouse will be very educated and a knowledgeable person can be expected because of the Shravana Nakshatra. Your spouse will love to learn things after listening to someone. Okay, so like there are some people who just go and study. There are some people who just go and study in universities, then they learn things. There are other people who can just learn just by reading stuff like self-help book, etc. And then there are other people who just listen to different people, listen to different story, listen to audio books, and then they learn. So that the third kind of a personality your spouse will be. They would love, or like I can say, learn things just, or like gain knowledge by listening. Okay, your spouse will be very helpful by nature. Your spouse will love to help other by their heart. Okay, your spouse can also help needy person. Your spouse may have interest in music, dance, art, and all these kind of a stuff. Spouse will be a very scholar kind of a person, very nice person can be expected. Your spouse will have excellent character. Okay, also it may possible that your spouse may live away from their birthplace because of this nakshatra of Shravana. Your spouse may be charitable by nature and a very very kind nature person can be expected. Your spouse may have good wealth in their life. Okay, your spouse can be teacher, speech therapist, linguist, astrologer, research, religious scholar, politician, business person, geologist, and maybe in travel related profession also. Okay, these things can be seen profession wise. Your spouse will have very good attraction. Okay, like attractive kind of a personality can be seen. Your spouse can have some mark on, or like I can say mole on their face, it may also possible. Your spouse can be slim and have attractive personality. Your spouse will have religious nature also, and also your spouse will respect elders, and also your spouse love traveling, meeting new people, that can also be expected. Your spouse may love listening songs. Okay, songs listening, music listening while doing work, and this and that may also possible. Your spouse may have curiosity to learn new things. Okay, your spouse is a very nice and a practical kind of a person because of this nakshatra. So overall you can expect a loyal and a honest spouse because of this nakshatra of Shravana. So this is all about Shravana nakshatra. Now let's talk about the nakshatra of Dhanishta. We will talk about the nakshatra of Dhanishta. So what will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Dhanishta? So first of all, I would like to tell you that nakshatra of Dhanishta is ruled by the planet Mars. Okay, it is ruled by the planet Mars. So it shows that your spouse will be a very active person. Okay, in life they are physically very active. Also very energetic person, full of energy can be seen. Okay, your husband or wife, or I can say your spouse, will be a very active and energetic person can be seen by Dhanishta nakshatra. As your seventh lord is placed in the Dhanishta nakshatra, it also show that your spouse will be a very courageous person. They will have a tremendous courage because of Mars, right? Also it show that your spouse will be very strong, like strong willpowered person. They will have a strong willpower. If they would like to achieve something, they have that willpower that okay, I don't care what the hell will happen, but I will achieve it. Okay, are you getting my point? They will have good wealth and resource. You're gonna have to understand that in terms of wealth they are good. You may get someone who is like a rich spouse. Definitely there are high chances of that, because when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Dhanishta. Okay, your spouse will have materialistic happiness. It can also be seen. Your spouse may love music related things, right? Maybe playing musical instrument, they love it. Maybe listening music, or maybe singing, music related things. Your spouse can be interested in these kind of. Now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. That can also be seen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Dhanishta. Also your spouse likes some playing some musical instrument, as I already told you. Now your spouse can be good in sports. It may also possible, right, that your spouse may love playing some sport, or maybe good in sport, or maybe in some sports, like a sportsman can also be seen your spouse, because of this nakshatra Dhanishta influence. Also it may possible that your spouse brother play an important role in their life, like brother role is quite important in your spouse life. Can be a trustworthy person. When your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Dhanishta, it shows that spouse can be a trustworthy and honest person. Okay, very honest person can be expected. Also your spouse will be intelligent and a very joyful by nature. Okay, little bit of funny and like joy having in their life, that can also be seen. Also, I would like to tell you that uh, intelligent spouse with a smiling face can be expected because of this Dhanishta Nakshatra influence. And also, it shows that your spouse can have business capabilities. They can be good in business also. Although sometime it is also seen that your spouse can be a bit sensitive sometime also because of this nakshatra influence, but a very pure hearted person can be expected. Okay, and little bit workaholic person can also be expected, like they, oh, like my god, they're just crazy about work, very workaholic person. But the good thing is that they are very committed person. Your spouse will be a very committed person. That's really fantastic. Your spouse can be in some high authoritative position, that can also be possible. Okay, your spouse can be a part of some large organization. Okay, it may also possible. Your spouse can have charitable nature, like they likes to do a lot of charity, they likes to help poor people, needy people. It may also possible. That's really one of the best qualities that you have, because charities are really good for your life. Your spouse can be in some music related field, that can also be possible. Your spouse will be little bit angry in nature, because obviously Mars energy is there, so it is like an expected thing that sometimes they can be aggressive also, or like angry also. Right. Your spouse will look happy from outside, but from inside there is some kind of void in them. Okay, like as if like there's some little bit of void that you have to fill. Okay, your spouse may have um, expectations from you. Now what it is, you will get it once you get married. So your just use simply your intelligence in your relationship. It's quite important for you. It's a kind of advice that I can give you. uh, Now I think next thing what I would like to tell you, that your spouse will be a lucky, like spouse will be a lucky charm for you. You are quite lucky once you get married to the person. Your spouse is like a lucky charm for you. Overall, Dhanishta Nakshatra, when your seventh lord is placed in the Dhanishta Nakshatra, it shows that spouse will be nice and a beautiful person. Okay, and if in case you are watching for a husband, then he will be a handsome person. Spouse will be goal oriented and a very ambitious human being. Okay, and spouse will have some kind of a magnetic look, and a very good body structure can be expected because of this nakshatra influence. Your spouse will have a younger face, that can also be possible, and your spouse will have a love for fashion, like a very fashion savvy, fashion loving kind of a spouse can be expected because of this nakshatra influence. Okay, also I would like to tell you that your spouse will have a very nice smile. Okay, and a very charming look. uh, Also, your spouse may love luxurious thing, like luxury etc is important for your spouse. Your spouse will have positive vibrations overall, and a very adventurous person can also be, like they may love adventure sports, and like all these kind of adventure sport lover kind of a person can also be expected. Spouse may love traveling, they may love to travel. Spouse do not like other people to interfere in their life. Okay, they do not expect, like, or I can say that they hate that when if someone else just interfere in their personal life, they do not like that, and that's really a good thing. Spouse will be adjustable by nature, that's really a good thing for you. Again, a spouse will have a real and heroic nature. Spouse can be optimistic, wealthy, philosophical person, that can also be expected. In terms of profession, can be musician, poet, doctor, surgeon, real estate, property business, scientist, research related work, engineer, or maybe sportsman. All these kind of fields can be expected when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Dhanishta. So this is all about Dhanishta nakshatra. Now let's talk about next nakshatra, which is Sadvisha. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Sadvisha? First of all, I would like to tell you that when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Sadvisha, it is ruled by the planet Rahu. Okay, Rahu is the ruler of this nakshatra. Um, so it shows that your spouse will have interest in mysticism, occult field, can be interested in this astrology, like Jyotish Shastra, occult field related, like tarot card reading, palmistry, maybe a little bit spiritual practices also can have interest in all these kind of things. Your spouse will definitely be very very intuitive because of Sadvisha is a very intuitive kind of a nakshatra. Intuition power your spouse will be very high. Definitely, this is like when your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Sadvisha, spouse will have high intuition. Spouse can be service oriented person. Now see, service oriented person doesn't mean that they will only do job or like, service oriented means that they would like to serve other people. Let's say for an example, I am doing my own work. I am a self-employed kind of a person. I am entrepreneurial kind of a person. I am doing several things. At the same time, I am providing you my astrological services. So these are also the services. In the same way, your spouse can be doing some kind of services. Let's say there is some doctor. He is providing you just go to consult with the doctor. He is also providing you his services. Okay, so that's what service is. Service should not be misunderstood with the job. We are not talking about job. We are talking about service. That means like the kind of service you provide to someone. It can be any type of service. Your spouse will definitely have a political interest because the ruler is Rahu. So that's why your spouse will be intelligent person. Okay, that can be seen. One thing I would like to tell you, if your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Sadbisha, you must have to make sure that your spouse should avoid alcohol. Okay, it may be possible that he or she drink alcohol. You have to just cleverly guide them, or just make sure that they do not drink alcohol, or just try to reduce their alcohol consumption. That's really a good thing for them. Okay, I'm telling this again, I'm repeating again, that your spouse must avoid alcohol. Even if they are drink a lot, they can't avoid it, then just try to reduce the alcohol consumption of your spouse. Okay, I can just give you this advice, that's really good for them if they avoid alcohol. Your spouse can have philosophical nature. Sometime your spouse can have a bit confusion also, because Rahu definitely give confusion. Spouse will get professional success in later part of your life, because early life they will have. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive % discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Struggle and in later pride of their life, they will have success. A spouse will be natural healer, and humanitarian nature of a spouse can also be seen. A spouse can be in some healing field also. It may also possible that your spouse can be in some healing field. Healing field, again, I already, doctor can also be a healer. A motivational speaker who just healed by their word can also be a healer. Then there are other people who just speak spiritual talks. They can be healer. Astrologer can be a tarot card. All these kind of stuff can also be possible. Spouse may also have one special quality, that they know how to heal people emotionally. That can also possible. Definitely all the mystical things are associated with this nakshatra. Your spouse may have interest in like reading about medicines, or doctor related stuff. Definitely that can also be possible, by which they can heal other people. Your spouse look calm from outside, but from inside they have something different going on in their mind. Okay, your spouse can be a bit shy person also. It may also possible that your spouse will be a bit shy. Your spouse may not open easily to others. Okay, sometime it can also be seen. Spouse will have some kind of emptiness in their life. There is some emptiness inside them. Okay, so you should just try to find that what's the problem in their life, or maybe in past due to which they feel it, and just try to fill that emptiness. Okay, that's your task. I think you can, I can give you that kind of advice, that you should try to do that. Your spouse may help others, even they have to sacrifice themselves. So are you getting my point? Even they have to sacrifice themselves, even then they help others. So can you understand how much good person they can be? If someone sacrifice themselves, even then they are helping others, so they are fantastic person. But actually they faced so much in the early part of your life, or like some problem due to which they feel bad sometimes. Okay, but overall a very nice person can be expected, but for sure you have to work on them. Your spouse will be a pure-hearted person. Your spouse can be honest also, and it may also possible that they love honesty. Your spouse can be a little bit harsh sometime also, because obviously they have some experiences in their life due to which, your spouse can be astrologer, working in related to work like NASA, ISRO, like space agency, etc. It may also possible. Spouse can be doctor, healer, researcher. It may also possible. Your spouse will have elegant look. or maybe some seriousness on their face can also be seen sometime. Your spouse can have attractive eyes and maybe a wide forehead and a very prominent nose can also be seen. Your spouse, is like a overall nice, honest person, loving person, but you must have to be the friend of your spouse first. Okay, it is a kind of advice I would like to give you, that you must have to be the friend of your spouse first. Uh, they are mystical, and after you become actually your friend of your spouse, then it's really good for you guys. See why I'm saying that. Once you become friend of your spouse, then they will definitely reveal things like a friend revealed to other, instead of just complicated relationship. Just try to be the friend of your spouse. Let's say even if you get married and you see your seventh lord is in this nakshatra of Satbisha, then you just try to be friend of your spouse now, and you will see that they will tell you that this happened to me in the past, due to which sometime I feel bad. Then you can just understand, okay, this is the situation. Then you can just maybe help them to overcome, the past regret or anything like that. That's why I'm saying. So just try to be friend of your spouse. That's really fantastic for you guys. You have to deal like care your relationship calmly. You have to understand that even if they are sometimes harsh with their words, just try to deal with your relationship with very calm. Okay, just try to be just try to be calm as much as you can. Okay, you have to. Your spouse will be overall very nice, loving person. There may be harshness, I am again saying, in their voice sometime, because obviously some person who has suffered a lot in their life, they may have some, inside something serious going inside them. So you have to just find out and just try to help them in that. You must have to take care of your spouse health also. If your seventh lord is in this nakshatra, that's why I'm saying again that just try to help them. You must have to make sure that they must avoid any kind of addiction, that can be of any kind, that can be of alcohol, that can be of smoking, or that can be of anything worse. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm just trying to say. Just try to take care of your spouse. Okay, that's really important for you, and you can only do that if you become the friend of your spouse. It may also possible that your spouse may have addiction in their life, but later in their life they will become a person who just quit all the addiction. Maybe you help them, then they quit all the addiction, and then finally they start a non-governmental organization or something by which they help people who are addicted to overcome their addictions. So they become a very nice person. It's really a nice thing. Can you imagine, you have some addiction and you know how challenging it is to quit that addiction, but still you have such a great willpower that you quit that addiction, and then you started an organization with whose goal is to help people like you who are in similar stage like you, and you just cure their life. Then it's really fantastic. God will bless you with good life. Okay, if you do that, your spouse can have that kind of tendency also. That's really fantastic. So this is all about this nakshatra. Now let's move on to our next nakshatra, which is Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra. Your seventh lord is placed in the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada. It first of all, it is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Okay, so it's like a good thing, because obviously Jupiter is over here. So it shows that his spouse will be a fortunate person for you. Okay, very fortunate spouse can be expected. It shows materialistic happiness in life, right? This nakshatra, it shows that definitely your spouse will be lucky for you. Okay, you will get a spouse by which after she come to your life or he come to your life, then your luck increase in your life. A very hard-working person can be expected, and they dedicate towards their goal in your life. Your spouse will dedicate towards their goal in life because of this nakshatra. Spouse can be a good speaker and have a very philosophical nature, guiding nature can be seen, because definitely Jupiter influence is there in this nakshatra in your seventh lord. So it shows that definitely your spouse will be philosophical by nature. Although it also shows that spouse will have a strong sexual attraction. Also your spouse will be fond of traveling. They love to travel to different places, long distance travel, or maybe foreign travel also possible. Your spouse may earn money through government. It may also possible that they may be involved in some work due to which they earn money through government. Your spouse will have good longevity in life. Okay, that means long life of a spouse can be expected because of this nakshatra. Your spouse will have dual personality. Like for an example, dual personality, what I mean, like for example, you see Gemini ascendant, like they will have little bit dual personality. Okay, like the dual face of a spouse. One face is very serious, very philosophical. At the same time, other face is like very happy. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Happy, charming, charismatic, fun-loving, party-doing person, and the other page is like a spiritual. So that's really fantastic. That means they can balance every part of their life. That's really amazing. Your spouse will be helpful by nature. That's really good. And also humanitarian. Okay, that is really amazing. And that's why they have the blessings of the Lord Jupiter, because they help other. They are humanitarian. Okay, that's really good, amazing quality. Also, your spouse will help other by their heart. Like for example, some people help others so that they can get something from in return, but your spouse is the kind of a person who loves to help other from their heart. That is the best thing about your spouse. Your spouse will be a spiritual and a very creative person. Imagination will be very strong of your spouse. Imaginative personality can also be expected. And also best thing is that your spouse will be intelligent. Highly intelligent person can be expected. Okay, they will have a good wisdom, and also they can have entrepreneurial mindset, like they would like to do something of their own. It may also possible. Now in terms of career, spouse can be astrologer, priest, and research skills, can be in research related work, statistics related work, um, occult field like astrology, tarot card reading, palmistry, and can be in some administrative position, can be a business owner also. Okay, so like high position in some companies, etc., can also be seen. Your spouse can be best in their field, like whatever they do, they can be best in that. Okay, your spouse will be dedicated towards you. This is one of the best thing that your spouse will have. They will dedicate it towards you. Okay, so loyal kind of a spouse can be expected. Your spouse will have overall a very nice energy, and they can have a medium body structure also, and on their face there's some kind of innocence you will see. Like your spouse will have some kind of innocence on their face. Spouse will be very attractive. Okay, and in terms of appearance, they will have a very calm and a composed appearance, and a very attractive smile can be expected. Your spouse can have sharp and a beautiful facial features. Okay, you're gonna have to just see that. So overall this nakshatra is really fantastic, although it will be difficult for you to know what is in your mind of your spouse. Like what's going on in the mind of your spouse is really difficult to know, but still it's like a nice person can be expected. Your spouse may not trust religious ritual blindly. For an example, there are some people, you tell them that okay, this is the religious belief, you have to do this in this way. They are like, no, 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 why should we do that? We can pray to God by sitting anywhere. It's okay, you can just literally sit on any park, and just if you just by heart just pronounce the name, or like pronounce any mantra, or just chant any mantra, then it's really good. Okay, mantra chanting can be anywhere. You can anywhere see God reside in the heart of every human being. So that kind of a thing, but your spouse do not like to follow the rituals like blindly. They just use their brain, right? That's really good. Your spouse will be a good speaker also. They can have good speaking skills and also have a good knowledge. Okay, so maybe have interest in occult, and a very nice, knowledgeable, humanitarian, helping nature kind of a person can be expected because of this nakshatra. So this is all about this nakshatra. Now let's talk about Uttar Bhadrapada nakshatra. What will gonna happen when your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra of Uttar Bhadrapada? See, first of all, it is ruled by a planet Saturn. Okay, Saturn is the ruler of this nakshatra. When your seventh lord is placed in this nakshatra, it shows that your spouse will be fluent in speech. Like their speech will be very, fluency they have in their speech. They can have interest in occult, again astrology, tarot card reading, palmistry, and all these kind of stuff. They may have interest in these things. Spouse will be again humanitarian by nature, like helping nature can also be seen, and doing humanity kind of stuff. And spouse get happiness from their children. That can also be possible. Again, your spouse may love traveling. Okay, travel loving kind of a person can be expected, and spouse will be good in writing skills. So it may also possible that they can be a travel blogger also, who just travel and just write about the places, like I travel to this place and there is an experience, and may make money through these things. That may also possible. Your spouse can be poetic and have little bit fickle nature also. Now before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance, because I'm giving massive percent discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Okay. Spouse can be a wealthy person. Okay, so you can marry to someone who is like a wealthy. It may also possible. A spouse may gain inheritance in the second half of your life. It may possible that somehow in the second half of their life, certain circumstances form which will give them inheritance. So indirectly, you will get inheritance in the second half of your life through your spouse. They can be a bit imaginative person also. Okay, and can be intelligent person can also be expected. So imaginative personality and a very intelligent and a knowledgeable person also. One more thing, your spouse will treat everyone with equality. It's not like if this is poor, then we can have to treat this person differently, and this is the president, so we have to treat. No. For them, everyone is same. They treat everyone with equality. They will have nurturing and protective nature. Okay, by nature they are very nurturing, caring, and protective. Also, they are very caring person. For you and your family also, very loving, nurturing, caring person can be seen, and also a very spiritual person. Spirituality can also be seen. Spouse may have interest in astrology, tarot, palmistry, yoga, etc. can also be seen, or maybe spirituality. A mature person can be expected, and because of Saturn influence, they will work slow, like slow work can be expected, and also very disciplined person. Spouse will be can work in some charitable organization in terms of profession, charitable organization, bank, non-profit organization, import export business, travel industry, religious work, priest, saint, astrologer, mystic related work, tarot card reader, palmist, writer, philosopher, traveler, teacher. All these kind of stuff can be seen. Also, your spouse may have great love for foreign travels, traveling to foreign land. Your spouse may face or have some innocence and a very calm appearance. Okay, your spouse can have a large body structure. Also, your spouse can have a bright eyes, and spouse may be a bit attractive also, right? Very attractive and a bright eyes kind of a person can be expected. It may be possible that maybe people feel attracted towards your spouse. Your spouse may be very lucky for you, right? And especially if you are watching this for your wife, then definitely your wife will be lucky for you. Also your husband, but if you are watching for your wife, just in case I just said that. Your spouse can be a bit lazy, although, because Saturn influence is there, so slow working, lazy little bit can also be seen, but still a discipline will be there in them. Your spouse will be a very charitable nature, right, and can involve in some non-governmental organization which do charity, etc. Spouse can have optimistic nature, and spouse may have great love for children. Okay, loving, nurturing nature towards children. Spouse will be overall a very happy go person and have a very adjustable nature. Your spouse could adjust as in different situation easily. Spouse will have a deep knowledge, and one thing is there, you have to understand, your spouse, because of this nakshatra influence, will not like criticism. So if you criticize them, they will definitely not like it. So you have to, if you want to say something to them, you think that they are not doing right or something like that, so instead of criticizing them, just tell them as a friend. Okay, then they can accept it. So overall, a nice and intelligent person can be expected because of this nakshatra. So this is all about this nakshatra. Now let's talk about our next nakshatra, which is Revati nakshatra. So what will gonna happen when your 7th lord is placed in the nakshatra of Revati? So first of all, this Revati nakshatra is ruled by the planet Mercury. Okay, Mercury is the ruler of this planet, and it is the last nakshatra. So it is actually a very prosperous nakshatra. First thing I would like to tell you, ruled by planet Mercury, so it shows that your spouse will be very intelligent and a knowledgeable person. Spouse will be wealthy. You can get a wealthy spouse because of this Revati Nakshatra influence. Spouse will have wealth, wisdom and knowledge. Okay, and also your spouse will be wealthy not only in terms of money but also in terms of wisdom. Okay, they will have wealth of money and wealth of wisdom both. Spouse can be a bit spiritual person also, and they believe in a god a lot of belief in god can be seen. Spouse can be optimistic by nature and will be rich also. Spouse can have good leadership skills. Okay, so they can be working as a leader in some company etc, or maybe in their own work, it may also possible. Spouse will be attractive and have a very responsible nature. So obviously when you work in some higher positions you will have responsibility, so that can also be seen. Your spouse may have strong and a clear body, and a very sociable person can be expected because of this Revati Nakshatra influence. When your 7th lord is placed in the Revati Nakshatra, your spouse may have interest in mystery. Now, before I tell you more about spouse, I want to tell you that I have launched my money and wealth remedy self-help course. Don't miss this chance because I'm giving massive % discounts for the first few hundred people who will purchase this course. In this course, you will learn powerful techniques and remedies to attract wealth and abundance using astrology. So act now and enroll fast. This offer won't last longer. Definitely check out this course on my website. Right, and that can also be expected. Your spouse may love traveling to different places. Traveling is important for them because Mercury influence is there. Your spouse will have good longevity, and your spouse can be definitely artistic nature also. Little bit artistic nature can also be expected of your spouse. Your spouse may love to travel to foreign land, and maybe they would like to settle into a foreign country. Definitely that can also be possible. Spouse can be in profession which is related to traveling, like any travel related profession of your spouse can also be expected. A very creative person, wealthy person, a person who is well liked and a kind hearted person can be expected as your spouse when your 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra of Revati. Spouse will have a nature like they would love to help other people. Also spouse will have a nature that they would love to protect animal, like animal protector kind of a spouse can be expected. Spouse can be involved in social work, and spouse will be kind hearted and empathetic by nature. Spouse have nice capability of guiding other people, or like someone guiding nature can also be expected. Spouse can be good in teaching. Spouse can be in movies, politics, charitable organization, government position, high government position, mystic related profession, travel business, can be physics teacher, or maybe like flight attendant also, that may also possible. Spouse will be beautiful, or like I can say handsome as per their gender. Spouse will be attractive in look. In terms of look, they will be very attractive person. Actually overall your spouse will have a very elegant personality, and people will appreciate your spouse both in terms of their appearance and also by their nature. They will get appreciation from others. A spouse will be beautiful from outside as well as inside. That means they also have a beautiful heart. So they are a handsome, or like I can say beautiful person. At the same time, by nature they are also very good. Definitely spouse will be intuitive also. They have some intuitive quality also. That's why interest in astrology etc can be seen. Also it may be possible that your spouse may love to go to the sea beaches. There are high chances of that. They may love to go there. Your spouse will be imaginative person. They have high imagination. So overall you will get a beautiful, amazing and intelligent kind of a spouse. So I can say a very unique type of a spouse can be expected because of this, when your 7th lord is placed in this nakshatra of Revati. So guys, this is all about 7th lord in different nakshatra. It takes me a long time to just wrap up the data and just tell you some important thing about all the nakshatra. I just try to tell some things that are related to nakshatra. Although obviously full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, because then you say where your 7th lord is placed, in which sign, which in which sign in Navamsha, etc., and a lot of things. So for that, full horoscope consultation is required. You can do that by clicking the link in the description. And I will catch you in the next video, my dear boys and girls. Bye bye.